And we're live and visible.
Here we are.
Off you go.
Off I go.
Yes.
Alright, cool. Yes, hello. I am the one in charge of this stream. Not the stream, but the game. It's the correct term.
The thing we're doing with dice and some
the thing we're doing
rules.
with dice, yes, hello. My name is Felix, and today I'll be running this one-shot, possibly short play, depending on how fast/slow you manage to deal with my scenario, of Mutant Year Zero. An excellent little post-apocalyptic game in these, hopefully not pre-post-apocalyptic times, but we'll see.
I'm hoping it is pre-post-apocalyptic at the moment. Just how bad is lockdown going for everybody?
I think the concern that he was more concerned about it being immediately pre-post-apocalyptic.
Yes, immediately pre-apocalyptic, then we are in the middle of the apocalypse. But yes, hello. With me today I have Glacier Cup, I have Fish, I have Knight, and I have Shard. And yeah, we're going to be playing Mutant Year Zero. It's a game made by Freely, or Freely, as they decided to call it in English, which is a great translation. A couple of fair warnings. There will be some discrepancies in this game about what words that are used for certain mechanics, because there isn't an official English version, which we have like sheets and some things for, which means we're using the word from that one. But I have a Swedish book, and I've been translating, and apparently my brain decides to translate things differently every now and then. So there might be both some translating on the fly and some words getting mixed up because synonyms are a thing. So yeah, I also might muck up rules because I haven't properly read through the book. I kind of read through it. But
You never tell them.
It's fine. No, I like to be transparent and open. But if any of you people that are not on delay figure out that I'm using a rule wrong, feel free to tell me, and I might tell you to shut up and just go as I'm doing. Or I might adjust accordingly. We'll see what happens.
Joey says nice haircut, by the way, Felix.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, my sister cut it because I'm lazy and or sheep. So yes.
You haven't hit the quarantine buzz cut yet.
No, I was very close. I was incredibly close. We just decided to crop it as short as we could. So yes. Yeah, let's dig into the game and the scenario, I guess. We'll be playing Mutant, which is set in a mutated post-apocalyptic world, specifically Sweden. If you are a mutant, you are part of a settlement known as the Ark. Few of you have ever wandered out of sight from it. The world outside that is referred to as Zone is infested with rot and monsters. But resources of gas and your numbers are every dwindling. The Ark, your settlement in particular, is a giant metal construction that we as humans would recognize as a cruise ship. It is far from intact and it's solidly stranded, surrounded by overgrown concrete, and a little ways off there is also a big broad river. Which is a good settlement. It got all you need. It got metal. It kind of keeps out the wind. It got other people in there, which is supposed to throw in a car. And you've got some water, so it's mostly fine. You've lived here all of your life, and it's right. You and your settlement will live under the ruling guidance of one called the Elder. There are an ancient person left over from the old world, and whose rule has held you all together so far. For example, one of the directions you have gotten is that the zone should be avoided as much as you can. But resources are scarce, and you need to get what you need to get when things start running out. So far, you'll have had a supply of crop that you have been managed to live off of so far, but every now and then, it's always good to get some more. And it's also important that every artifact that you found, should you wander out into the zone, should be, by directions, returned to the Ark and handed into a specific place in the Ark called the Dawn Vault, for study and for benefit of the entire settlement. But, I mean, you need to live too, right? So, however, it is not in the Dawn Vault we find ourselves today. Because in the middle of the arc, in the middle level of the arc, sits a bar. You know it's called a bar, because there are several signs scattered throughout the arc pointing to it. It's a fairly nice area. The bar disc is long and very nice. The bar disc is long and curved and protecting a storage room where allegedly whatever creates the boost serve here is stored after someone allegedly figured out how to do it. In front of the disc is a wide range of seating and tables, some original, mostly not. There are lawn chairs, boxes, half-broken folding chairs, and whatever you can sit on, that kind of works. Basically have all been gathered here.
I don't care what I'm sitting on, as long as it's in a corner.
You want your back to both corners, don't you?
I want to be in a corner, so I've got not only my back to the wall, but also my left and right. Or even left and right.
It depends whether your camera's flipped.
I'll say this is a pretty open area, but I'll say like there's like a large pillar like in the middle where you can sit your back to, so you have free range 180 all around you.
That'll do. I quite like Nikidor's suggestion actually of putting a box over myself. Have I got the box handy?
I think Gemel's actually part cat. I think that's part of his mutation. He sees a box, he feels this intense urge to get into it.
I mean, that's not just a cat thing. Humans do that too.
Sometimes just like to be contained. That's all it is. But yeah, there's a smattering of mutants here, just sitting, chilling, taking it easy, calming down, having a little bit of booze, and among them are you all. You have all been summoned here by the boss who owns the bar. Her name is Alona, and you are all currently waiting for whatever reason you're here. You're not quite sure yet. Or you might possibly even be running late. We already know where Fish is seated in this bar, so why don't you tell me, Fish, what your character looks like, and how soon you got here, how long you've been chilling here. What's going on? Who are you?
Who are you? What's going on? What is this?
He's putting food in his mouth when he's laying down.
Putting food in his mouth.
It's a delaying tactic.
Yes. I'm just looking at my character, just to see if I've actually decided already.
Well, I'm playing a zone stalker called Gemel, who is looking rather uncomfortable at the moment because, to be honest, he is happier out in the zone than he is here at the Ark. There's too many people here, and they all look at him funny when he starts eating rocks, which is his mutation. He doesn't see what's so bad about the zone, to be honest, because it's full of food, as far as he's concerned. But nobody else wants to eat it. He's dressed as you might expect from a stalker, in obviously this being post-apocalyptic. Everything he's got is a bit sort of it's like a combination of handmade and scavenge, but it's all sturdy stuff that will cope when he is out there wandering through the wilds. He's probably been here for quite a while now, because if he's got to meet somebody, then that's the only reason he would come here. And he has nothing else to do in the Ark. Normally he would just deliver whatever he's delivering and then go back out to the zone as soon as possible. So he has probably been sat here just waiting for his opportunity to get out of this place and back into the zone where he's more comfortable. And he's cradling a beer in one hand, or whatever alcohol is available in one hand, and never quite letting go of his scrap rifle. He's probably tucked in the crook of his other arm.
If he likes alcohol, would his
probably
reciprocal choice be rock guts?
Rock gut would be ideal, yeah.
I am going to break lockdown, come over there, and back you with a newspaper.
Yeah, but he's got a bow and arrow. Like, why would you?
He's got bows, He's got several bows and a lot of arrows.
Fair enough, but
I
I can
only
see
use
one.
one bow at a time.
Yeah, true.
I mean, you can still murder
Let's train
someone.
your feet.
You can still murder someone with social distancing as long as you keep a range. Like, it's fine.
Yes. I mean, social distancing, it's only 2 meters. That's not a bad range. You know, if you're using a longsword, you can get someone from 2 meters, no problem.
I liked the people referring to it as instead of stay at 2 meters. Stay at melee, stay out of melee range.
Yeah. Well, I've been calling it referring to people's threat range.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everybody has a 2 meter threat range now. So that's you get an attack of opportunity within that range. So stay out of it.
Yeah, excellent. So that fish character. Who else we have been here for a bit? Who else has nothing better to do in the Ark than to sit around and wait in the bar?
Well, if we've been summoned, then chances are Reimer's arrived down there with companion, loosely leashed.
What's the formality and anything else?
Could you clarify that that's a dog, please?
Yes. Yes, Goose is very much a dog.
And also very much a companion.
So I was just thinking we're now waiting on Shard's character, who's arguing about whether the leash is too tight.
So Reimer is, as far as the game's concerned, he is mutant with a dog. That is his character class. So comes with free pet. Yes. He's a fairly sort of scarred-looking individual, thin, wiry. Wears some kind of overalls, possibly scavenged off a mechanic somewhere way back in time, and likewise a jacket picked up from somewhere else, which sits over a hoodie that's over the overalls. So he's got a very mishmash look about him, but definitely a sturdy pair of boots. You can't go out into the zone without decent boots.
Definitely.
And the dog is not a... She's kind of a smallish terrier type dog. But always seems to be interested in different things, especially if there's a new smell that she's picked up on.
Excellent. Who's next? Shard or Drat?
Shard, go for it.
Because you want the spotlight?
No, I always go first. I'm going to last for a change.
I'm playing Mr. Moon, he's a chronicler, which means basically mutant nerd.
Yep, basically.
He's kind of tall, tannish because he spends too much time outside, even though he should be inside. Piercing eyes because he's always looking at things very intently. The very, very distinct feature of his face is that he has two arms growing out from underneath his nose.
Oh God, I'd forgotten.
So had I.
Yep.
Oh.
It's so 2000 AD. That's a very Judge Dredd Johnny Alpha kind of mutation.
We are so in the doghouse.
That's like my favourite description of a mutant I've ever heard.
Face guns.
Just for the arms.
That's how I drink, or eat. I just use those arms while I'm writing in a book with my other arms. It's so disconcerting. I love it.
You have to kind of bend down weird because it's like feeding your stomach basically for those arms because they're. Oh, I love it. It's terrible.
You see, it'd have one side holding the book in its spine, probably breaking the spine and being one of those people, and then every now and then the other arm from there would just come around and just flip the page over.
Please don't make the asthmatic laugh too much, otherwise I'll spend the rest of the evening coughing.
Oh yeah.
So, otherwise, he is skinny to the point of looking like frail, underfed. But he wears a duster, a bowler cap, and a football jersey. Since this is from Britain, it would be, actual football jersey.
Yeah. Look at that. I was about to step in and correct you, but it would probably be hockey because that's more common here. But then I realized that the cruise ship you are off is in fact British. I'm sorry. Carry on.
Right. My go? Oh, hello. What?
Yes, sure, go ahead. Sorry, I got distracted for you.
No, it's alright. It's Windows just decided to throw me up the weirdest message on the planet, and I'm just a bit confused. Please wait while your document is prepared for printing. Why?
What document? Why? When?
Why are you trying to print? What are you trying to print? Face has one. Right. Yes,
Right, yeah.
I am a fungi from your goth. Yes, I am actually going to be unnoticed. Not in a corner, because there is no corner. But somewhere down the line, Swan just doesn't draw attention to herself. She tries, bless her heart. But Swan Purser, who is a descendant of the old crew of the cruise ship, Purser being an old name passed down from before it all went horribly wrong, wears fatigues, big army boots, and a red hooded cloak she has made herself. She is weedy. Everything is just a size too big for her. She looks quite weak and weedy. Her rifle is leaning up against the table next to her, and she tends to use both hands when holding mugs and things. She looks relatively normal, and except when actually making use of her mutations, where the things down the side of her nose that look like scars open up and reveal themselves to be basically extra nostrils and extending into slits halfway up her cheekbones. At which point she can both sniff out rot and also with a little genteel sneeze can deliver spores in an enclosed area. But ideally her entire life is lived from behind somebody else's shoulder, because that's safer.
Alright, so the boss, Alona, she has like kind of a permanent seat up close to the bar desk, off to one side, where she sits. She's not an incredibly big... She doesn't look that impressive at first glance. But she has a very stern look about her and gives kind of an air of the fact that you're less than her, in every sense of the word. Sort of longer, loose brown hair, and with incredibly striking eyes, because her pupils lie horizontal instead of being circular. It's kind of like an octopus, I would say. And has like a constant shake, almost wiggle to them. No scars, but kind of big pinkish pepper breath marks kind of around. And so she gives like a glance over and gives a nod to one of the mutants around the bar, who just does a quick walk around the room. Spots.
Felix.exe has crashed.
Gives like a short nod to themselves, and then gives a nod back to Alona, who gives another nod, and the big crusher standing next to her, like, this will be an interesting session. Am I back?
Yeah, well,
Is this working?
You're back. Welcome
Well,
back.
that's
You're
what
back.
we're here for, is to give people
Hey,
interest.
there we go. Excellent. I mean, yeah, it's not a stream unless there's technical difficulties, right? I don't know. Something is weird going on with me. I'm a 5 minutes in the host. I don't know why. Oh, yes. Cool. Do tell me if it happens again, and we'll just wait for it to keep back going again, I guess. I'm actually going to clean up my computer, which I should have done before. This is...
did you actually accidentally leave a couple of online games running in the background?
No, but I did have 73 tabs of Firefox open. So
73?
Firefox is renowned for, while being a good browser, being hugely memory hungry and leaking like nobody's business.
Yeah,
I mean, it's my preferred browser, but it really does leak and
yeah.
grab hold of memory.
But also,
Sure.
Yeah.
76 tabs.
Yeah, I usually have more. This is nothing. I recently did a clean out, so it's fine. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Yes. So there's a big mutant standing next to Alona. You know this as her main kind of crusher, her main.
Henchman is the term you're looking for. Enforcer, possibly.
Yeah, a god. What's it called? Life god? No, that's something.
Bodyguard.
Bodyguard.
Life god. The bodyguard. Sure.
If he's there in swimming trunks, then he's a lifeguard.
In
I mean,
life.
no, he definitely has a vest with lifeguard on it. Definitely. 100%. It's incredibly like rat eaten, but it's fine. But yeah.
Counts as uniform.
Yeah. He's a big guy. Not too much on him. Not too like anything. Not too striking, except for the fact that the back of his head is a lot bigger than it should be, and kind of extends down, covering his neck. It's not always as big of muscle. He's also big of brain. What does it look like? And he kind of slams the wall 2 times, and there's a grumble from the rest of the mutants surrounding as most of them gets up and leaves. As a call seems to have been made of everyone clear out. There's still a smattering of mutants still left. I mean, you all recognize these as part of Alona's crew. Her gang, her posse, I don't know the words.
Posse.
Oh, perfectly
Posse.
good word.
Yeah, posse,
Yeah.
because posy is something else.
Yes. See, I've learned English from watching American television, so I know.
That's cool.
But yes, so there's a quick silence as all of the eyes that are not you settle on you.
Because none of us have moved.
More than one pair per person on occasion.
I mean,
And you're the only ones remaining who aren't part of Alona's kind of main people.
I don't feel
Gemmel looks
safe.
around and double takes when he realizes that Swan is actually there.
Yeah,
behind
Swan.
you.
Swan is doing the. I'm sitting here wearing the brightest colours you can imagine, and yet still somehow manages to fade into the old velour. She's somehow managing to wear the same colour as the sofa banquette she's sitting on. It's like me in every club I've ever been in.
There's a brief silence as Alona kind of clears her throat. So, welcome, all of you. Could you step closer, please?
Okay.
Which I've got to stand up.
Come on, Goose. Closer.
I
No,
will
not that
rela-
close. No, back. Heel.
You're so going to have to grab Nightmare.
I will
Live action
reluctantly
roleplay.
step closer, trying to get closer to Swan and keeping away from Rhino.
I stop
thing
leaning
he has-
against the wall, take a step forward, still looking down at my notebook while drinking with my extra arms from the cup.
Yeah, I'm falling in, so basically I am just my left shoulder is like just behind Gemmel. I'm not actually fully hiding behind him. But if I take a step to the left, I will
It's ready to hide.
Yes. Armor class Gemmel. I'm his food
So-
source.
I
That
will-
came out wrong.
Yes.
Food
You are here
finder.
because I have a problem. And I need your help to solve that problem. There is...
The
Yes.
clue is in the phrase there. You said, I have a problem. That's you have a problem. I don't have a problem.
No, you don't have a problem. Would you... You don't have a problem. But I could offer you bullets in return.
Okay, now I'm interested.
Yes. So, if I'm allowed to speak now, I have a problem. And that is that something has been stolen from me that I wish to have back. I have all gathered you here because I believe that you might possess some of the skills needed to solve this issue of mine. A thing has been stolen by someone. I want you to bring back the item, get paid, and then never speak of this again.
So we do the job, we get paid, and that's it.
Correct.
What's the catch?
The catch is that you need to go out in the zone and find it.
Can I ask what the payment is?
It's your choice, either bullets or I can offer you booze. Two bottle each or 10 bullets.
I'm thinking on the whole that the bullets would probably be more useful.
Yeah.
Useful, but not as tasty.
It's your choice what you would like each. And we can take this when you get back.
Well, I don't know. I mean, wouldn't it be more useful to pay, partially up front, especially if we're taking bullets, because that might be safer? Because then we could be safer and do the job and come back for you?
You saying you want us to take a bullet for you, love?
Just saying. It might be nice to have.
You heard it here first. She wants me to take her bullets.
It would. But I don't want to waste bullets if you don't come back.
It would be a real show of trust in us.
It would.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I can maintain this expression the entire way through. There's a limit to how long I can do the high eyebrows and batting eyelids.
I have a very
If your
important
eyebrows get any
question.
higher, they're going to meet your hairline.
If one or two of us don't come back, the rest of us do come back with the goods that you want back. Do we get their shares?
Oh no, that's a good
Which makes you to
question.
get back.
That would be a nice agreement to make actually in advance, because
Gemma unconsciously steps away from Mr. Moon.
yeah.
Mr. Moon, can you make a manipulation roll, please?
Okay, how do I do that?
Yes, okay, so you need to go to use my cheat sheets. You're going to roll your skill, the amount of dice you have in your skill, so manipulation would be, like, whatever number you have in manipulation, that number of die, and then plus your, what do we name that, feeling? Empathy? I think it's called empathy, yeah, empathy. And then
Basically translated
so it would be your empathy plus your manipulation. And
Okay.
roll that amount of die.
And that would be the yellow dice?
Yes, the yellow dice are the empathy, and the green dice are the manipulate.
Ah, cool. I don't have a green die.
Behind the green.
Whatever
die.
color works.
No, I don't have any points into...
Oh, don't have any points. Okay, yeah. In that case, it's just your main stat, attribute, skill. Attribute or ability, I think it's called. Mine isn't called that, so I don't know why I keep looking.
So,
Attributability and skill tribute.
we're looking
Only
for
six.
successes? Only sixes?
Only sixes. I think on the roller they have the radiation mark, so only the radiation mark comes as successes. And you only really need one success to complete something.
Yeah, I didn't get a success. I rolled 2 5s and 3 2s.
Yeah.
Oof.
She kind of gives you a look of and then go, no, you get what you're going to get paid if you come back.
Fair enough. I just
Now,
wanted to
speaking of-
know if there was going to be a target on my back.
Now, speaking of what we're going to get paid, you do realise that there's two of me. Me and Goose. We both want paying.
There's a reason. There's a reason Raver is the hero of my story.
Roll another manipulate check.
Right,
Roll a manipulate. Let's see if you can convince.
Well, while you're rolling that, Gemmel will mutter quietly to Swan. That's very convenient. 2 of them, and I have 2 bullets left.
well, I'm rolling even less dice than Shard was. But I have a 6.
Yeah.
2 and a
Yes,
6.
She gives kind of a sigh. Fine, but only half for the dog.
That's fair. She don't eat much.
No. So, with that out of the way, do you accept?
I'm in.
Well, of course. Everything to be of help.
Good. So, time is of the essence. The thing that it's installing is a card. It's a piece of plastic, roughly, and she gestures, kind of, God, what is sizes? It is grey with a yellow strip on it, and on the words written on it are Eden. I need it back.
Eden?
Yes. So, the thief left about an hour ago. He was heading south. And there's a reason I choose two of you who I know have some form of ability to hunt people down. I need the card back. Possibly even the thief if you wish. Doesn't really
If
matter
dead or
if
alive.
me in a message. I could throw in something extra if you do bring him back. The thief in question is a stone stalker known as Broad. He's been spotted around here every now and then, and most recently, previously. So, time is of the essence, and I would prefer you leave as soon as possible. Headed south, card, back, paid. Anything else?
Don't suppose
Can
he,
you tell us?
Don't suppose he left anything behind, did he? Maybe a glove he might have dropped or something. Didn't drop
He
anything.
still has his, I think his den is here somewhere. If
Any-
you like to check it out.
Does he have any friends here?
I just need something Goose can get us sent with.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Also, do we know what strength he actually has?
It's a polite way of putting it.
He's
Mutations.
pretty good at running.
Oh.
Yes, as far as I'm concerned, he's good at running away.
Well, he can run all he likes, but I'm sure he'll just die tired.
We could hope.
Use that.
Oh God! Now I know that one of Remy's descendants goes to Sweden on in a advised cruise.
Well, I guess we should pack up and head out then.
Yeah, if you know where his den is, we can swing by there on the way to get us sent. But otherwise, if you don't know where it is, it'll take too long to find it. We'll head straight out. See if we can get us
Yes,
sent.
unfortunately, I don't know that.
Did you see which way he left? We might be getting sent that way.
South.
It is surprising that somebody in charge of a community doesn't know where their where all their significant people are.
Yeah, I was thinking sense emotion on this guy when talking about the card.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Alright, I got a success on the attribute die, and on the skill die, I didn't get a success.
Okay, that doesn't really matter, like, which dice you get which on. Oh, sorry. That only matters when it comes to if you would like to push your... Which is something we should mention. Whenever you make a roll, you could also choose to push the dice. Which is basically you roll again, but you keep all your successes and failure, and you keep all your ones and sixes from before. Which gives you an ability to basically try again and try to succeed, but there's a possibility that you will take damage from doing so. So it's kind of like a last ditch effort, like a last desperate attempt. But yes, you did get a success. What specifically are you trying to discern?
I'm trying to discern whether this key card is actually his, like, or hers, the guy that we're talking to, the person we're talking to, because I can't remember their name.
Yeah, Elena. She seems incredibly animate. She wants it back. Incredibly a lot. That's good English there, Felix. She wants it back, and it's clear that she's hiding a lot of anger, and she's hiding a lot of urgency when talking about this thing. It appears to be important to her, and she does appear to, if nothing else, think that she owns it.
Okay.
Exactly what that means, you don't know.
I'm not going to ask this question in front of her. I'll wait till later. But I just have to wonder, she's got this big old gang. Why does she need to hire 4 other people to get it back for her? That's a thing.
Well, I don't want to imply that there's any kind of lack of leadership. And perhaps she doesn't trust her henchmen out of her sight. I mean, I would never imply that, of course, at all.
Are you still standing in front of her,
yes.
by the way? Yep.
Alternatively, we're just expendable and them lot ain't.
I'm sure we're not expendable. I mean, who would send somebody out on a pure suicide mission for a little bit of plastic? Only an idiot would do that. I'm looking straight at Alona.
Gemmel is looking back and forth between these people as they talk and wondering how long they're going to waste time before he can get back in the zone.
Goose, look for a new sim. I'm going to unleash him. Go find a new sim.
I am certain, Swan, that you could make sure that you are not seen as expendable. Could you please get a move on?
Dog's already going.
Okay. Right, I'm going to follow Gemmel and try and ensure that Mr. Moon is not behind me.
Oh, he's definitely behind you.
Uh-huh.
But he's like 6 feet, then 15 feet, just falling behind, slowly striding because he's still writing in his book.
That's fine. That's fine. And yes, I do have the voice of the most annoying customer service representative ever in existence.
Yes, for your Stonestalker, there is actually a Stonestalker room in the Ark, which is located on like the bottom part of the ship. That has basically like just a good place to stock up. There's not a lot of things there. Granted, most of Stonestalking is bring your own business. But most importantly, there is a map of the zone. This map was found a bit ago. We have an image of it.
We do. Hang on.
This map was found a bit ago, and it's basically a way for you Soul Stalkers to kind of make sure that you don't go in the same direction all the time and don't lose the same things.
Since we're not using a virtual tabletop, could we have the map in Discord so that the
yes, I'm incredibly sorry.
Sorry, I was thinking in terms of getting it to the viewers, and I completely glitched on getting it to you lot. Sorry.
I'll get it. I'll throw it up in Discord
Okay.
in a second. And I have it in my computer. So,
That's the big, the large scale map, yeah?
that's the large game map, correct.
Okay.
So this is like a permanent installing of the Stonestalker room. It was found out in the stone a while ago. So the notes on it are not notes that you have made, which is why they are in Swedish. So I have found discerning that. And
what does Garunt mean?
you don't know?
Okay. Right, okay. He's just showing off.
Yes, so this is basically a place you have available where you can look at the map and kind of know what some people know of the zone. Whether these things are true or not, you don't know who made it. But it's kind of the Stonestalker's base of operations of trying to at least know kind of what to expect or what to look out for, what to worry about. And in fact, Swan has her own copy of this map, or part of it, where the Ark has been marked. But I can tell you, for the sake, while we have the big map up, the Ark is in G19.
G19.
Is it where that little ship is? Next to the river?
No, it's on the other side of the river.
It is... Oh, hello, that went wrong.
It's right next to there's a lot of crisscrosses.
Yeah, I suddenly glitched and briefly thought I was on the virtual tabletop there. We'll gloss over that.
So you said G19?
Yep, G19. So where there's like a
At the
tributary
mist,
that goes north.
You failed
and
to
east.
sink my battleship.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
battleship already sunk.
Tied down with battleship
Um,
chains.
it's basically like right in the corner of that square, because most of that square is filled up by the river, if I'm not completely mistaken.
And if we're going to go
Um,
south, I assume that we have to be near the land to be able to go south.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got two small islands and a meeting of two rivers, or merging of two rivers into one that then heads down. Looks like it would have been docks at one point,
Yeah, docks
judging
and
by the
commercial
layout.
canal.
And then down out into the estuary. Is the ship near those two little islands on the south shore?
Ah, we lost Felix.
Of course we did, because I'm talking
Welcome
straight
back,
to the GM.
Hi, Felix. Welcome back.
Sorry, what's the question directed to me?
Yeah, sorry, the question was, is the ship near the two little islands in the south section of the meeting of the two rivers?
The ship is located like on the not on any of the islands. It's located like on the riverbank. What would be the river? It's not a riverbank. It's concrete.
Yeah, close enough.
It's basically on proper solid ground, as you would say.
Okay.
It's not directly by it is directly by the river, but the river is like a little 100 meters off or something like that.
Okay.
These sections are sectors. I don't know the English word.
Either way.
They're kind of large and they cover a lot of landscape. But yes, so I'm assuming that that's a place where because that as you as Stalker would usually go before heading out. Unless there's anything else anyone else would like to do before joining up here.
Is everybody equipped?
You
I've got
all have.
all my stuff with me. I was assuming that we were going to be heading out somewhere from here, so I picked up everything really.
Gemmel is like an old school AD&D ranger. He's not allowed to own more than he can carry.
I can't carry everything I own, which is a bit of a problem. So what I've done is I have arranged a booby trap in my little section of lair. And so unfortunately, if anybody tries anything, I have been sneezing spores into the pillow for quite some time.
Oh, God.
You what?
Yeah. With the result that I am actually
true.
not overloaded.
So,
COVID has survived into the apocalypse in the form of Drut's character.
Yep, in the fullest form, definitely.
in terms of weight capacity carrying, I missed or glossed over that when I was re-listening to our Zero session.
Yes, your weight capacity is strength times 2.
Great, I can carry 4 things.
Yes, exactly. Some things count as like heavy things, and some things count as smaller things,
Yeah,
which
tiny.
is up half a thing. For example, rations only take up, I think, 4 rations.
4
take up
rations to 1 slot, yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. And there's also things that don't count towards a slot at all. Those are, once again, how with the words? Technically they're called smaller things. Okay, heavy, light, and smaller. That's the 3 categories we're going with. Heavy takes up 2, smaller takes up half, and light takes up half, and smaller takes up no space at all. And all other objects are like normal one line on the inventory thing. Right.
Apologies for this, Felix. I don't seem to have any bullets. Was that just I cocked up when buying, or am I actually wandering
Roll
out?
for how many bullets you have. Did you spend them on something?
Yeah, on your weapons.
No, because she got a weapon anyway. The
Yeah.
only class that won't start with a weapon is the chronograph. I believe.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. I think we did roll for it. Give me a second. I do not remember what you roll, however.
No, neither do I.
Yeah, because you do start with a T6 worth of bullet. A D6
Okay.
worth of bullet. Just
I'm
re-roll
just
that.
re-rolling it. That's fine. That's okay, Joey. But thank you for the offer.
I have no club or gun, but I have 6 bullets and a pen and paper.
I think it's ever so nice of you to be carrying bullets that we might find useful.
I must admit, this whole bullets thing, I'm getting a real Metro 2033 was
Yeah.
Yes.
vibe,
Yep.
where, again, bullets are the currency in that. I
I
must finish. I've got all 3 of those books. I must actually finish them at some point.
yeah, like any like world building that includes bullet for the currency just gets me immediately. Like I love it. I love it so much. And I've read all of the Metro books in Swedish now. For some reason.
It's a wonderful. It makes combat extremely tactical because you're thinking, how can I afford to spend a bullet on this? It literally
It's so
costs you
good.
every time you shoot someone.
Love it. Also, Mr. Man, it's just a good. Let's throw some else in there. Just some umlauts for the fun of it.
Some what?
Someone wrote Mr. Moon with the Swedish umlauts, and I'm happy.
Oh, nice.
Mr. Man.
Mr. Moon Sky, please tell us what.
Yes.
I'd like to point out, when Mr. Moon shrugs, he actually shrugs with both sets.
Makes sense.
It's just, it happens. It's the only thing that he can't not do separately with them.
How long are your arms?
My face arms? I mean, I'm going to say that it just depends on the situation. Like bad CGI movies where sometimes it's this size, sometimes it's that size, and no one ever really knows.
I've seen Deep Blue Sea. I know how this works.
Sure. Fine, I'll accept that. Yeah. Makes sense. Sure. Why not? You're with arms and as a mustache. Fine, I'll accept that the animators can't decide how long they are. Because neither can you, apparently.
He's making me think of facial shoulders, and I never want that thought in my head.
They're just kind of like a turtle head where they can extend further. Like they just this. I was about to say shrinkage, but that's the wrong thing. It's just like this little folding gathering of skin, like right here. It just extends out, like the neck of a turtle.
Like the joke, boxing glove at the end of a concertina stick.
Yeah. It's skinny and disgusting. Anyway.
Yeah, after that. But strong enough to pull me up a cliff face. Making people uncomfortable.
Unsettling thing to imagine. God, do I let Mr. Moon live or do I kill him to save myself?
It's fine. It's absolutely fine, and I think it's great that you can be so helpful.
He's very handy.
He is. He's ever so useful.
God. Yes. So anyway,
You want
It's
to
all well
gather
with forearms and all
pointing
that.
what are you doing? What's going on with the mutants?
I have no idea.
We lost track. We got sidetracked.
I've let Goose loose to try and find a scent
Okay.
and sort of directed herself. So hopefully she'll be starting to bark away fairly shortly that she's found something. 'cause
I've just put up my section of the map. We
I'm
have
just
tracks
really pleased that
listed.
it's not just me. This is pretty much how Numenera went for me. It's nice to see it happens to other players as well, other GMs.
What the current gibbering wreck?
In color, it's going to go freaking sideways.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, I came off Isla Illier, mate. Yeah. We've all got one.
Going to find where I put the Stalker map, the copy of the map.
I've just put it up on, so the audience can see it.
Yes, but for our dear players.
I know, was that not just mine? You're making a big decision for me. That's
No, that's an excellent point, Rob. I'm glad you called me out on that. Yes, okay, so Swan has a copy of the map.
I'm showing
that she's
Gemmel.
made. Yes.
I imagine Gemmel has probably seen it before, because you are my buddy.
Yes.
We're rot buddies.
Yes.
Swan's terribly useful for finding good rot.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, did I put this? Why is this so suspicious?
I love, by the way, and because it's been a little while since we created the characters, I'm just going to remind it because I think this is fun. We've got our relationships defined on the character sheet. And, of course, how I feel about somebody else is not necessarily how they feel about me.
Yeah.
So for Gemmel, I've got, I find him rot, he eats it. For Reimer, his dog looks at me funny. And Mr. Moon talks a lot, very noisy, and monsters come to noise.
Yeah, that's not so very far off what I've got down for Mr. Moon, but mine is written in Gemmel speak. It just says, when will he just shut up?
So we all pretty much think the same of poor Mr. Moon.
Yeah.
Hey, the funny thing is I'm actually not talking nearly as much as everyone else.
No!
But moving sense, it's a lot, though.
I
Busy
do
writing.
sign language with my face hands.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That's not sign language. That's 2 fingers. I didn't even know they had fingers.
They do have fingers. They're arms with hands.
They have like little baby hands, tiny little cute fingernails. Oh,
So, my relationships to you guys. Gremmel will die soon. It's only a matter of time. Swan doesn't understand their own goodness. And, Raymer is the hero of my story, and they don't know it.
We all know
oh,
it's really Goose that's the hero, right?
yeah. We've got a ship
Probably,
going on.
Yes. I'm assuming that you'll get up your gear and following the lead of Goose, who basically just starts heading out. I think Goose had realized enough of the situation to know that they're probably not going to be in the Ark. And you start heading out into the zone, heading south. Now, your Ark is located fairly close to the edge of the square you're in. However, so that means it's not too much of a walk to the other sector. It's worth to note that most of you haven't really, well, most of you, the 2 stalkers excluded, haven't rarely wandered outside of this one square. The Stone Stalker has wandered a bit more, but the areas around the Ark still count as unexplored. You haven't really properly dug into it. Now, when it comes to exploring zones, that's generally a good thing to do. It takes you about 4 hours to explore one sector of the map, and that also means that the Stone Stalkers are going to use their special skill called Lead Away, which means that they can detect threats and really just make sure that there's a safe path for it. Exploring takes 4 hours, as I mentioned, with like a successful roll, and in general, if you get more successes, there's chances to reduce that. You could also just spend 2 hours to go straight through, but that means you will find no artifacts, you will find no grub, and with a failed lead away, you stumble into danger. When you explore a zone, there's a possibility of finding grub, there's a possibility of finding artifacts, and there's a big possibility of finding danger before it finds you.
Before danger finds you, yeah.
Yeah.
We are chasing somebody,
We
so should we not head after them and explore on the way back? This does mean we're more likely to run into danger because we won't have explored and found said danger, but we are on the clock.
I
seems to be
think
sensible.
I think if this thief is good at running, we should definitely go after fast.
Well, if
Yeah.
the thief is good at running, we do want to catch up, but we don't want to exhaust ourselves. They're going to exhaust themselves faster. They're going to have
And
to
let's
sleep.
face it, if we're on the trail,
Yeah.
anything that would befall us has already befallen them, so we'll meet them one way or another anyway.
Makes sense.
Okay, so I think Gemmel and Goose should probably take the lead. Does that seem reasonable?
Why do I have to go with that?
Well,
Well, because
have you seen what he eats? It's going to mess up Goose's smell. If she loses scent of the track, it's good. Maybe you and Goose best go first.
I'm at the front.
Well, yeah, unless you want Goose to go behind.
You are better at smelling things, aren't you?
I am.
Well, there you go. Two best noses up front.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Also, you spend a lot of time out here. I don't know why you're all timid and stuff.
Why am I all
You're better
timid
than
and
this.
stuff? Because I've seen her strength, mate. She is very, very fragile. This is an extremely breakable zone stalker.
Oh, that's
Besides,
right. You took 2 mutations too, didn't you?
I did. Besides, why have a Gemmel and bark yourself?
All of you did.
I think we all did. Yeah.
Yeah. All about the mutations in this group.
Yes.
Yeah. So I take it that you are going to just go straight through the zone. It's not through the zone. Through the sector. That is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think the plan is definitely we will be following the tracks rather than exploring the zone. Much though I would rather explore the zone, it just doesn't seem like a good idea under these circumstances.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do instead, I think, if Swan and Goose are leading the party because they're going to be at the front following the tracks, Gemmel is going to go a little distance to one side and shadow the group so that if anything befalls them, then whatever befalls them may not spot Gemmel.
Okay.
That's fair. That is fair.
In that case, what we're going to do, because Goose hasn't really found a track at this point, there haven't really been.
I need to make.
Hunting is one person in kind of a big area, and you haven't really anything with the person's smell on it.
If we've got to find some tracks, obviously Gemmel will assist in locating tracks first before he moves off to one side, because we need a track to be following before we can get going.
And that also gives
Indeed.
a question. If you just go straight through, that means you won't necessarily find any tracks either.
Yeah. So okay, yeah. Well, our first thing is going to have to be to find the tracks.
Right.
Yes.
Would that
counts
be?
as scouting this point?
Yeah. Scout
That's what
and
we-
wits.
Would that be
Uh,
Scout is different.
No.
Scout is the it's used for perception rolls, but you don't
Yes.
in this game. You don't roll to see things. You roll to find information about the things you've already seen. Hence,
Okay.
they're called Scout rather than say awareness.
Exactly. So the question to remember, like, if you go straight
I've got it
through,
down as find the path, which I think is what the official translation has it as. But whatever the zone stalker skill is, I would imagine. Is what we need to roll.
Which I don't have actually written down, which slightly confuses me.
Would the Bloodhound talent help with that? For
stuff.
give me a second. I'm going to look up.
Oh, I've got lead the way written in.
Yeah, lead the way. So, yes, that's the
Yeah,
that-
lead the way. That's
Lead the way is the zone specific one. That's the first. Like when you enter a zone, that's the first thing you need to do is like lead the way to make sure nothing bad happens.
the English language version of the game calls it find the path, but it's the same.
Find the path.
Yeah, it's just that I took that. I think I took. I must have taken that from the quick start because I've got the quick start somewhere.
Oh,
So-
fair enough.
Yeah, possibly. Since you haven't found a track yet, you can't use your Bloodhound ability, Raymond.
Okay.
And this is first and foremost like at this point you kind of have to rely on the zone stalkers to make sure that you don't die before you find anything.
Okay.
Your job in this entire
Difficult to find things when you're dead.
Yes.
Their main thing in this will be to, like zone stalkers in general. You hire zone stalkers when you want to go at the zone, and because they know most of the
Stalk the
dangers,
zones, really.
and they know like how to find the way through rubble, and like find safe paths, because this is very much like a landscape that is utterly destroyed cityscapes, with like steel beams and shattered glass and all that. So that's why it takes so long to search through them and take bonus as well. Question still remain though: do you want to explore it, or do you want to just go straight through? I would allow you to go straight through.
If we don't have a path to follow, we're going to need to explore them.
Yeah.
If we had a definite path, a definite track to follow, then we would want to do that. But since we don't have a definite track, we're going to have to explore to try and find where this guy went.
So we're going to have to do a find the path / lead the way.
Yeah.
Yes. Which you would have to do either way.
Weirdly is on agility, but that's cool.
Is it? Cool.
Yes, weirdly.
That would be why I've got the 4 agility. So it's
right.
So is it number of dice is a stat plus skill, yeah?
Okay, you need 2 different types of d6.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Because your attribute dice need to be distinguishable from your skill dice.
Yep.
Because they work slightly differently.
Yep, no, that's fine.
I don't think they work differently until you actually push a roll, but you still need to be able to distinguish between them in case you decide to push the roll. If I'm remembering these rules right, they're slightly different to Coriolis, which has the darkness point system instead.
Yes, you can always push your roll after you roll.
But either way, I'm rolling 6, which have to be distinguishable.
Agility is a weird translation for that skill, by the way. It's called in Swedish. It's basically just called cold, and it has to do with like how well you handle stressful situations. But they named it agility.
Oh, cool.
Yes, that sounds like cool.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah. That would be the better translation then.
Okay. So,
Yeah, plenty of games have a cool stat. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so
not clear on this one.
we're aiming for 6s only, yeah?
Yes, 6 is all.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that empty is the cool stat in this game.
2 6s
And
out of all the
2
dice.
6s. Excellent.
I got
And you got 1?
Yeah.
Cool. That means for Swan, you get to choose a bonus effect for every extra d6 you roll. Since both of you succeeded, I would allow you to pick 2 bonus effects instead. Like kind of forfeiting... Oh no, actually, you could use your successful fish to find artifact instead, because you have the tracker thing, if I remember correctly. But the bonus effects for find the path either way. Yes, scavenger.
Okay, so essentially, I think what you're saying here is that you're counting this as effectively one roll between the two of us. So 1 6 is making us pass, and then between us we've got 2 extra 6s to do other things with. Yeah.
Yes, basically.
Okay.
But you could. I think you need to be declared beforehand with the scavenger. You could find artifact instead. So instead of finding a threat, you could use your successful thing to find an artifact, and she could use one of hers to still succeed in roll, and then a bonus effect.
Right. Yeah, I'm cool with the idea of finding an artifact. I can find an artifact.
Yes, absolutely.
Find
An
it.
artifact appeals to me.
Especially if it's like a doctor's bag, so that my healing could be better.
That's really specific.
Or technically, I think actually,
But that
depends what counts as an artifact. Unfortunately, we don't get much of the rules in the starter.
it's things left over from the old world.
Yeah.
But you don't get to choose the artifact. You find artifact if there's an artifact in the square, which you don't know, but I know.
Right. So if there is an artifact, I could use that, and I would find it. If there isn't an artifact, and I use that, then I don't find it. But I do know there isn't an artifact.
Yeah, you could probably find something else if one
Okay.
can.
Yeah. Okay. I'm cool with that. Let's use this my
Yes.
6 to try and find an artifact if there is one. Then.
But Drut, you also get a bonus effect for since you roll 2 6s. One is for succeeding the roll, and the other one for a bonus effect. The bonus effects you can choose between are either the same thing as he has with finding artifacts.
Okay.
You can find out which level of rot is in because all sectors have like a varying degree of rot. There's either no rot, there's a little rot, or there's a lot of rot. A little rot basically means that if you go through the zone, at the end of the day you get 1 rot point. A big one is that every hour you're in the sector you get a rot point. Which you don't know until you start taking them.
Yay.
Or you can find 1t6 bullets. You can find 1t6 rot damaged grub. Or you could find 1t6 of t6 d6 Sweden. T6.
You know what you meant.
We know what you mean.
Yeah, you could find one with d6 of water, or you could spend a point to explore the sector for half the time. Instead of spending 4 hours, you can 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm going to spend the point and go for the fast of exploration, because we are definitely in need of getting through this quickly.
Cool. There's also, just to mention it, the last one bonus effect is that you can choose to rush on like a quarter of the time, but that means no crop, no artifacts, no nothing like that. So
that I wouldn't. So if we did that, I wouldn't get to use mine to find an artifact, would I?
but you could still explore it in half the time. Those are 2 separate effects.
Yeah. We're going to explore it in half the time. I'm going to hassle them through, but I'm not going to make them run.
Super. So you enter the sector and you start making your way inside. This sector is fairly. It's a lot of like cityscape, ruined cityscape with concrete and steel beams and things like that, like I mentioned. The interesting thing you find in the sector is there's a big, giant metal tube-looking thing. You can tell that once upon a time it was painted in white and blue, and close to the it's laying kind of with the short side. It's like the short side down and the long side up. Good way to explain
Does it have a fuse? Is it a firecracker?
It's like 10 meters long. There's and close to the ground, there's some cutouts in the metal with the glasses or piece of glass, smoked and being smashed. And on top of it, there seems to be like a lot of like old blackened mechanical bits and pieces sticking out. On the short side on the front of it, or what do you assume be the front, and on the side, there's like an orange square with something that looks like a 9 on it. It's this big, giant thing. There's also some what looks like doors in the side of it as well. Which aren't close to the ground. There's like half a meter, and then there's these doors. You can see the handles, so you can tell they're probably doors. Yeah, that finishes this film. You, as scavenger, Gemel, reckon that this looks like something from the old world, and there could definitely be an artifact in there. You're fairly certain.
Also, it looks like a new home. I think I might want to move into it. It looks
Yeah,
cool.
I was just thinking this looks very defensible.
I definitely want to investigate this before we move on.
Yeah.
It might be too close. I mean,
It's an utterly bullshit excuse for doing so. It could be it's the sort of place that a fugitive might.
Yes, if I were looking to get away and hide and not be noticed by Alona and her friends, this is the sort of place that I might go.
you're thinking that he's hiding here.
It could be.
Hmm.
I'll check it
It
out.
makes sense to search.
Absolutely.
But honestly, it's too close to the Ark to be a reasonably safe place.
Oh, I don't know.
Goose, is there a scent there? Go sniff it.
Roll a Sikkim.
Sniffing is done on which stat?
I think it's done on empathy, isn't it?
No, it's rolled on sharp. I want to say that's not a thing. It's rolled on the
Wits?
Wits?
yes, wits. Thank you. I was about to say the one that's above empathy. We're
Right.
going for the order.
That's weird.
No, nothing is above empathy. Wits is just a strong contender.
One that is listed before empathy on the character sheet then.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I spilled cocoa myself.
Just 1 6. 5 dice, just 1 6.
Yeah, he starts sniffing it out.
Sorry, 6
Doesn't seem like she kind of scrunched her nose up. There's some sign of rots, but there's sign of rot everywhere. Nothing too dangerous, nothing too alarming. She doesn't seem to be worried. She doesn't seem to find anything overly interesting either, sniffing this out. Demo, you go up to this giant tube thing. The doors aren't hard to like force open. They kind of seem to be meant to slide open.
They're doors. It's the point of doors.
Yeah,
Really.
kind of point of them. They make sort of a groaning metal sound as a little bit of rust shakes off from it. Inside this thing, you can see in the ceiling there are these kind of twisted metal structures hanging down, and some of them even have like a smattering of incredibly moldy covered fabric. To your eyes, they could possibly be chairs, like sort of hanging out in the top of this thing.
But upside down for reasons best known.
Yeah, upside down.
They're just weird people. They built chairs on. I mean, what can we do?
Yeah, it's super weird.
Why would you put a chair on the roof?
If your feet could stick to the roof and you didn't want people walking in on you doing things, why not?
The floor is kind of like has a gentle curve to it. Not too bad, but it's kind of smooth otherwise. There's also some of these metal things extend down to the floor of this metal construct. And you can see in the corner there is a collection of what looks like wet and slimy things that are sort of chilling in the shares and within that isn't mold. You can actually see them moving a little bit too. But right underneath them, you see what looks like a plastic package, lots of keys. That you reckon could possibly be some form of artifact. It seems to be kind of ish big, kind of flat. Not fabric, it's plastic, but it doesn't look like a plastic bag. It looks kind of like thick, almost like a thicker plastic. That is covering something.
Sound like the slime. The
slime you can see on the comic.
This is the new evolution of drop bears.
Rock or something that I can throw at the slime and see if it reacts.
Yes, sure.
This is the new evolution of drop bears, fish.
In fact, I'm actually tempted to make a scout roll and see if I can ascertain anything about this.
I was just thinking much the same thing.
I wish you put on Mutant isn't. You don't generally roll dice that often, so you throw a rock at this, you hit. It's not hard. And you see one of these things fall down, and it's kind of this big, snail-looking thing, kind of reddish black in color, that kind of makes a screeching noise as you hit the big mountain, and one of these things fall down and start trying to hide up in the corner. If any of you would like to know, know the zone, you get to find out.
I've got the slight problem that I've seen Genesis of the Daleks, and now I'm just seeing these things as the little squodgy Dalek mutants.
I got 1-6 on my Know the Zone roll.
However,
Excellent. Give me a second, I'm actually just going to check out. It might be that before you roll, give me a second, I need to check. I should have written this down if you get minus 1 to know what this is, but I didn't. I should have a smacking book. Yep, no, you're good.
2 6s on Know the Zone.
Just out of interest, because modifiers in this system add and subtract from your dice pool, how does that work with the different types of dice? If I had a -1 die, for example, would I lose that from skill dice or attribute dice?
Skill. Yes. Cool. I looked this up before because I was. Give me a second. I'm going to check if you get any bonuses on Know the Zone, which I think you do, but I'm not sure. Okay. As a bonus effect, you will get some measuring what it is for Drat, who is, as we know, a god of rolling. you can spend one of them to ask a question about the threat that I need to tell you. For example, it lists how can this hurt me, or how can I hurt it. But before you choose what question that is, I'm going to give you the basic information of what this is.
Okay.
This is something called a zoning. It is big snails-looking leeches. They're more leeches than snails, but they tend to cluster in big swarms, and they kind of rely on the ability to ambush the target by falling on top of them.
Because they're slow.
Yes, and then kind of leaving nothing but a sucked out dry corpse.
That's nice.
Well, that
In the
sucks.
wake.
See, I called it drop bears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I draw a picture of them, and underneath I write drop bear.
Excellent. So that's what you know about them. They're terrible. They're not nice. Like most things out in the zone, they're not very nice. Is there any question would you like to know about these things?
Okay. What do I want to know about these things? Is I don't know, I'm trying to think of it just being general enough. If the question is things like how can they hurt me, or how can I hurt them?
Make them all drop all at once.
Yeah, no. Do I know if these things have corrosive or localized effects? Are they only squodge up and suck you dry? I'm thinking in terms of if I make an attack with, say, my boot, is it likely to melt the soul?
No, it do not have any form of corrosive abilities like such. Their main way of killing people is sucking up their blood,
Excellent.
or any other liquid that they might find. It is real science.
Jory, I was just thinking if I had salt, I would so be laying down the layer,
You know,
and then we just knock them all off.
honestly, this could be a tool if we had a bag to carry them in. Could just throw the bag at somebody, and that somebody is gone.
To be fair, that's a terrible idea.
In what way?
Well, A, it's cruel.
To who?
Well, to them.
No, they'd be getting fed.
No, they'd be in the sack until you wanted to throw them at people.
They hang on the ceiling until someone randomly walks underneath them?
But that's not a sack.
Finish debating the ecology of the zone. I'd like one of you to go and stand over there and attract their attention, please. They're really slow. It's fine. By the time they reach you, I'll have got the artifact and we'll be out clear.
Okay,
Yeah, let's not say we did, eh?
well, I was just thinking they look terribly fragile.
Oh, so you want to kill them instead of putting them into a sack?
Yes,
And how is that any less cruel?
they'd be dead and not suffering.
That's the really bastards.
Oh, yummy.
Well,
Oh, they're
react
far
to
smaller
something
than I
going-
expected.
They react to something going underneath them, correct?
Yep.
Generally,
Is there any like debris around, like a
Yeah,
shelf
sure.
or a
I'm
door
going
or
to
something?
Goose back on the leash for the moment. If anyone's going to throw anything, I don't want her running after it and getting leashed.
My first thought was to suggest that you said goose in there.
Yeah.
I must admit. I didn't
Yeah.
think you'd go for it.
with your successful roll, you do know that they don't have eyes or legs. But yeah, you can definitely find debris somewhere on the ground. This is the zone. Whatever debris your mission
I just pick up, a plank of something and throw it like a frisbee underneath them over top of the artifact.
Yeah, sure, okay. Yeah, you throw the plank and like a whole bunch of them drop down. No, wait, give me a second. I'm actually going to look if they react to inanimate objects or what everything is.
They might only sense moisture, so that's...
Hmm. They, a couple of them jumped. A couple of them jump. A couple of them fall down on top of the thing. They fall on top of the plank, and then they continue laying there. So now you have artifact, plank, leeches.
I like that the leeches are just like laying on the plank instead of moving away on the floor.
They're just kind of chilling. How many more are left on the ceiling above where we would want to go?
It's hard to tell. They're not super moving, and they kind of camouflage in each other.
I can see in the dark though.
Can you?
Yes.
Cool.
But it's still a big lump of thing. Like they should.
If it's a big lump of thing, there's still a lot there. Well, I can sacrifice this for the team. Maybe they sense water. I can toss one of my things of water their way.
For a second, I thought you were going to say you were going to piss on them.
That might be a better
valid.
idea.
That might well be valid. It would be warm. And you never
If
know.
you're actually tossing the water, Gemmel will stare at you and say, "Never do that again."
No, I was going to, but now I'm going to piss.
Now he's gonna toss another form of water. This pun is a lot better in Swedish, but okay, carry on.
I mean,
Now Mr. Moon is going to take his dingle out, and he's going to wave it in the direction of
Is
the
it also
murder
just an arm?
slugs. Because that's going to be
just
safe.
an arm?
I've just seen the three-way facepalm going on the chat.
See, it's not only you, Druck, that are subjected to my bad jokes. I am too. Okay, so you go into this thing, this tube thing, and you're going to stand far enough away so they don't fall on you, I'm assuming.
Correct, and then I'm just going to piss all over the place underneath the blobs.
Are you aiming for the ones on the ground? Because I don't think you could aim up to the ones on
Yeah,
the
no,
ceiling.
I'm aiming for the ground to make a puddle, but the ones up above might want to drop down too.
Okay. You successfully wet these bastards down properly. The ones in the ceiling doesn't quite seem to react. The ones on the ground are starting to make their way towards you. They're not as slow as you would expect. They're moving at... They're faster than a slug. They're a lot faster than a slug. Not human fast, but they're making their way.
Yeah, I back up. Well, that didn't work out so well.
They're wet, embarrassed, and kind of thankful.
But I gotta say, Mr. Moon, it were funny as fuck.
To be fair, I didn't actually think it was going to work, but did think it was quite amusing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the only one that's tried. I'm the only one that's tried anything to get these things down so far, so...
Well, yes.
I made a suggestion.
Also, there are some coming this way. Can you guys smash them?
One.
Once the ones on the ground start moving, you see more of them start dropping down.
Oh, nice.
I think-
Maybe it did work. Maybe it did work.
I think they've got a
And start
taste for
making their way
you.
towards you as well.
I think they have a taste for you, so I think you
I'm
ought to
continuing
run
to back
that
up.
way,
I am.
but run at slug walking pace, because you wouldn't want to outpace them.
I'm not outpacing them. I'm walking right by you guys.
No, that's counterproductive.
You're supposed to smash them
Why?
so that they don't chase me for the rest of ever out here.
Why?
The swarm of leeches.
I step aside.
Yep. Stepping aside the
Well,
other way,
ditto.
so I'm not near the rot eater.
Yeah.
They're kind of in the middle of the tube. I was about to say what it was, but I can't because I don't know the English word for it. So we're going doing great so far. And they're beginning to make the way like towards the doors. Which is now they're also blocking your path to the artifact. They are plastic bag. They could possibly burn artifact.
I will continue leading them away so that someone else can get the artifact, and then we can get the fuck out. So
This is still a sort of once built up area, isn't it? The area that we're in used to be like buildings.
Yeah,
and-
it's a ruin of an urban area. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna carefully head towards the nearest once was a building, hoping to look for something that vaguely sort of large and heavy that I might be able to crush these things with without actually touching it myself.
You start looking around. There's no like big buildings nearby. Unfortunately, if there had been, if there once were, they're now rubble. But
rocks work.
Rocks do work, yeah. I can throw
However,
rocks, I can be further away.
there's a lot of them, and you don't think if you're going to start throwing rocks at them, they will probably catch up to you before you're done throwing rocks at them. You don't think that just smashing these things will probably work. In game terms, these count as swarm, which are very hard to kill by normal means. You can't shoot a swarm in the same way that you
Yeah.
can't.
I was hoping that I might luck out and find a fire extinguisher and we could freeze the fuckers.
I'm totally with my
Or-
original plan. My original plan was that somebody distract these things, and while they're worrying about them, I can nip in and get the artifact.
Yeah.
That's already happening.
Follow my plan.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you haven't left the tube yet.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
It
patient.
seems to be slowing down.
Damn.
Maybe you should try it again, Mr. Moon. They seemed to like it the first time.
You said they're slowing down. They're not chasing me anymore.
Correct.
You need
They're
to
not leaving their
encourage
territory.
them.
Super keen on leaving the tube. Correct.
Or they don't want to go outside. Maybe sunlight's bad for them.
I don't suppose there's any way we can open up any door, any
Windows?
windows or anything like that, and get
There
some more light in.
are windows at like the floor of this tube. They are mostly smashed, and only has a piece of glass still in them. So there is it's not direct sunlight because first and foremost the sun is overcast. You don't really see the sun that often, if at all. And so they're in direct daylight already. And you don't reckon it would be you don't think you have any means of prying this thing open because once again the entire top of this thing is just covered in like thick black and steel metal parts and mechanics and wirings and not wirings but like
It's almost as if this thing was intended to survive the pressures of flying at a high altitude while containing 1 atmosphere of pressure. I don't know.
I was thinking similar things, Fish.
Into my head.
But that does mean it's awfully thin.
Can I roll comprehend to figure out how best to deal with these things?
that would be know the zone, but I'll allow it. Because
Know the zone,
knowing
because I don't have know the zone.
Yeah. You can roll it anyway. It would just be your wits.
Just
Okay.
just out of interest, while you're sorting that out, I just wanted to point out that we do now have an English language copy of the rulebook available should we need to look things up. Because since they are half price at the moment on the Drive-Thru RPG, I thought, sod it, I bought the book. I've just downloaded it.
Aha!
That's the PDF of this game. I'm avoiding looking at any
Fair
GMs,
enough.
access to the rules and skills and so
Yeah.
forth.
I'd like that. I'd like that. It actually walks you like before the GM path what you should read and didn't read. So that's good.
I got 1 success on the wit roll.
Cool. Alright, so this has to do with since this is a swarm, the best way to handle swarms would be either by fire, explosions, or some other form of possible mutations that has enough power to blow us up to smithereens.
Well, I don't think any of us know how to do fire. But we do know how to make fire, don't you guys?
Oh.
This is not the thing that Gemmel is in the habit of necessarily telling people, but Swan would probably know. He is pyrokinetic.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to inspire you guys to just set this shit on fire. How does it inspire? Because inspire is a skill for me, but how does that work mechanically for others?
I'm looking it up right now. The moment you said that, I started looking. Let's see. Okay, you can use it to help other people with their action, basically. And if your roll succeeds, the person you're helping gets +2 on whatever action you're attempting to do. And for every extra success you roll, they get another +2 for that. So if you roll 3 6s, that's 4 +4 they get on their roll. +4 dice.
Awesome.
And yeah, it does cost you action to do, but which means we will enter initiative once you do that, because once you start rolling dice, you will enter initiative.
Okay.
Right.
I'm gonna inspire Gemmel by pointing at the swarm and shouting, "We have tried stones, we have tried piss, now it is time for fire." And I do so in a loud, bardish voice that never comes out of me in regular.
Your mouth on flex at the same time to really
Yep.
It's not classic.
Suddenly, Mr. Moon turns into Kenneth Branagh and delivers the line like it was Shakespeare.
To be or
Or
not to
possibly
be.
turns into Windsor Davis and delivers it like he's a Sergeant Major.
Yeah, that's always possible.
Whispering grass.
Okay.
So roll your inspired in that case.
My inspire is 3 successes.
3 successes. That's awesome. So that once again, that's 4. That means 2 for the regular, and plus I don't think there's any bonus effects you can add on that one, but I'm going to shake it up even though I just closed the page. I am more wrong. There we go. Yes. It's important to know that you can actually use your inspire to hinder people as well. You don't actually necessarily need to do it for good. You could also use your powers for evil. Cool. Yes. Alright. Yes. So you give +4 to whatever roll Gemmel is going to do.
Right. I suppose I really ought to, since he's been inspiring, I really ought to actually do something, that aspect of your inspiring is purely roleplay, because you could force me to actually pyrokinesis these things. But under the circumstances, I suppose, let's look. Pyrokinesis, I have the ability to set things on fire with pure force of will. Resisting the temptation to do it in the moon. So I can set an inanimate object which costs 1 mutant point, or I can make a living being burst into flame at up to near range, inflicting 1 point of damage per mutant point spent. Armor has no effect.
Yes.
I can melt ice or heat a cold area, eliminating the effects of severe cold for 1 hour. I can't honestly see that any of those is going to be useful in this.
The second one, this swarm count as 1 living creature. So you could set fire to the entire swarm.
Is any part of the swarm particularly near what I think is an artifact?
Most of them have moved away, so they're more like they're kind of they're close to the doors. They would count as close distance to the doors.
Because I was worried about I don't want to burn the thing that we're here to take.
No, You don't
Seems a
spend.
bit silly. But, hooray! We have defeated the swarm, so now we can collect this pile of ash.
Yeah.
It's plastic, so we can melt it. Like in
Oh,
other
it's pile
Yeah,
of
okay, this melted glob of goo.
Yeah,
Uh,
also, didn't the swarm move away from it to try and get at me?
Yes, that was
If
the
the
second
swarm,
thing.
if
They
the swarm
are,
has moved far enough away, then I will attempt to set fire to
yes,
it with my
they
bow.
are far enough away that they won't be set on the fire. That they won't set the thing on fire.
Okay, good. How do I use my mutant power besides spending a mutant point? I know I have
You spent a mutant
at
point,
least one, in fact.
which
Oh,
means
speaking
that
of mutant points, did you figure out whether you're going to give us more or just the number of
start
mutant?
with you. You start with
Okay.
two. I'm a benevolent god.
Still on me.
Yes. All right. So you're going to. How many mutant points do you wish to spend?
I wish to spend one mutant point,
Cool.
because to be honest, I've only got two, and I don't want to blow them both on this swarm and not be able to eat any rot.
That's very fair. Okay.
Yep.
That means that you are going to. First and foremost, you are going to roll to see if your mutation marks up or not. I'm just going to figure out how many. And I think it's only one die. Give me a second.
So, mutations.
Yeah, so you rolled one yellow die.
Oh,
Yeah, roll
interesting.
one
You
zero
get more mutant points by pushing die rolls. So, given how
Yes.
often I fail die rolls, I'm going to get mutant points out
Yeah.
of the wazoo.
You're also going
Oh,
to get damage. Not when you can put
Yeah, I mean, I'll be half dead, but I'll have loads of mutant points.
But yes, so you roll a single die and tell me what you get.
Right, roll a single die and tell you what I get. Oh yes, that you can't fail doesn't mean it's without risk. That's a 6. I feel reasonably happy that that's probably okay. It's probably ones what it gets.
Okay. Oh, sorry. All right. Your mutation overcharges. Mechanically, what happens is that you get the mutation point you just spent back.
Oh, that's nice. I
And-
like that.
You can
no.
instantly
Lost.
do the same thing
Oh.
again.
Oh.
Either against the same target or against my target without it costing anything.
Yeah, okay, well, in that case, yeah. As I feel the surge of power through my system, I just spend that mutation point and do it again.
Yeah.
Oh god,
That's that I
I
get
didn't
it.
realize I was that inspiring.
There's a
Apparently you
reason
were.
that I stand behind him.
So
This does mean I've got another chance of rolling a 1 and getting a misfire, of course.
exactly. So roll that die again.
That was a 2. I still haven't
Two.
managed to misfire yet.
Oh.
This is not like me. I haven't rolled a... Actually, I was about to say I haven't rolled a 1 yet. I did. I got 2 ones earlier on. But because I wasn't pushing the roll, they didn't do anything.
Okay. So what happens is that you reach out your hand or you think very hard. I don't know how you wish to have it look, but there's a spark and
It probably does reach out a hand, yeah, because it looks good.
and you point towards the swarm, and they immediately ignite, and like you feel this power, like keep going, to sort of push it, and you do it again.
Keep
And
the
the moment
pressure up.
that spark happens, you are lit ablaze, and you take 1 point of damage, and your mutation backfires on yourself.
Oh no.
Well, that
What?
seems a little awkward.
Okay, so that 1 point of damage, that would be to one of my attributes, presumably.
That would be to your strength.
Strength, normally, yeah.
Can I move
Is it
fast enough to throw 1 unit of water on him instead of him burning himself?
Why would you use water? You could take my jacket. I'm wearing a duster. They work really well for putting out fires.
The fire, how dramatic it might seem, actually dies down fairly quickly.
Yeah, it'll just be
okay.
a flash and then gone, because this fire only exists because his brain is creating it. The moment it hurts, he stops.
I think we've just figured out that Gemmel has a buzz cut and no eyebrows.
That's possible. That is entirely possible.
There is like a wet screeching noise that turns into a slightly dry screeching noise as some of the leeches kind of dry up. But they're still there. You've done 2 points of damage. But these seems to be wet, little resilient bastards.
are they annoyed enough to all now be swarming in that direction? Basically, can I scooch round the side and snag the artifact?
You know what? Yes, and there are enough windows that I'm going to allow you, depending on how it goes, I'm going to allow you to roll move and see if you can figure if you can manage.
Get
if you fail, there's a
myself a
possibility
loot.
that my channel your set and actually manage to grab you, because we're playing theater of mind and it's all loosey goosey and failures hurt. So
That's okay.
roll move.
Right, move is based on agility, so I'm just rolling my agility, so that's fine. That's all good. It's actually not terrible. That is. That's a good. That's not. And that is. So that's 2 6s.
2 6s. God, Drat, you're.
Drat is a demon with those dice. She
I
really is.
know. I know. Oh God, do I know?
I'm going to set up dice cam because I swear to God people don't believe me.
Which means that once again you get to use a bonus effect. Like, I'm glad Drat is still here because that means we just get to find out all of the bonus effects for all of it. There's only really. Okay. What you can do with this one is basically help a friend complete the same task as you are, which I'm not sure is applicable in this moment. But you do it. You find a window that doesn't seem to be that glassy that's hanging out in the bottom, and you quickly sort of manage to oil yourself in there.
It's the
grab
benefit of being
bag,
little.
check out if there's any final leash still on it, and drag it out. The incredibly annoyed leeches are still screeching and sort of like a little rolling wave are trying to worm their way out of the door. Yeah. But you have the artifact, and you could safely leave without having to interact anymore with leeches.
I have no desire to mess with these leeches any more than I have to.
Yeah, I've flung myself in, so I can see the whole half torso is through the window, but her back legs are sticking out to counterbalance her. And then she kind of wriggles herself back.
Right. So you have this. You take a look at that.
I'm not looking at it until we're away from there.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm going to say. I'm going to,
you move far enough away from it that it's no longer an issue.
well, the thing is, I think you should probably all stop playing with them now, and come over here.
Fire, I stepped back and moved out. I figured you guys had the rest
I
of
think
it.
Cinder there's got the worst of it.
Yep.
That was incredibly brave of you, Gemmel. I
Yeah, nice
do
going,
appreciate
Cinder.
that.
They seem to like you for it too. You got some friends there?
Let's just go.
This is why Cinder's got.
point
This is why Gemmel's got that voice.
I'd like to point out that my prediction that Gemmel is going to
He
die.
had to practice his pyrokinetics. When he was younger, he caused a lot of damage to his throat.
It's
Oh,
been said internally.
when
He
he gets out,
kept trying to heat up his coffee and getting it wrong and just setting fire.
Yes, his magic word is ping.
So what's it take to heal someone, to make a heal roll? What does that mean?
I know that you roll the thing, the skill you have for it, the heal skill. Let's see. You can either use it for when someone has reached 0, but I don't believe you can do it.
Can't do it if they're taking damage.
Correct. The way to heal damage is that you basically need to chill out. I think
Okay.
it's for specifically for strength. You need to spend 4 hours of rest and eat 1 ration of crumb.
Yeah, we haven't built up any rock points yet, have we?
No.
Because that's the other one to heal if you're me, is just to spend rock
but-
points.
Oh,
Doing
and
that-
it's Do you lick the rot off your skin?
That's disgusting.
I'm not an author cannibal.
I said lick, not bite.
But also, that would require you spending a mutation point to do.
Yes, that would be my other mutation point spent. It's true, but I would, however, be non-traumatized. I can only use it to reduce trauma from the rot, to eliminate trauma from the rot, not for trauma that I've already got. I don't think.
Possibly. But yes, so you take a stat
Oh,
back
hang on.
from.
The couple 1 point of any attribute. If trauma has lost me a point of attribute, then I could use to get that back. But
Yes.
I'll have to poke further into this. I don't really know the rules.
Yeah. But so you take a step away from this metal tube, and you take a look at the thing you're holding. Currently, this one. It
Yep.
actually seems like on further inspection. You notice that it's actually folded. Like it's a folded piece of plastic, and it's kind of, it's not filled with air, but you can kind of tell there is something inside
Have I got a life jacket?
it. No, you kind of unfold it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of solidly hanging like a little more, meter and a half down, and it has a zipper on the front. And you hold it with a metal hook sticking out from the top of it. You kind of hold on to.
You found somebody's suit.
Well, it's either going to be a suit carrier or a dress carrier.
Yeah.
Yes. I just like the fellas
I
thinking
set
it's a
myself
suit
on
carrier.
fire for this.
Absolutely.
You know,
I'm
My
going to
first
have a
thought was,
look.
it's a body bag.
Do you
honestly,
unzip it?
Do
it's
they often
valuable
come
one way or
with
another.
this?
Please do unzip it.
Yes, I'm going to have a look.
Zoop.
There's this strange
Yes, zipper.
fastener on the front. It's intriguing.
You unzip it, and within it you see a kind of nice looking black suit jacket.
Oh.
With also a nice white dress shirt inside of it. And upon further inspection, there is also a nice little black vest, and pants. This
Waistcoat.
is indeed
Right, okay.
a suit, a full three-piece suit.
Waistcoat and trousers. Right, okay.
Generally, you need to roll comprehend, but I think you've all seen clothes before.
There's a vague idea of how clothes work.
I hope we've all seen clothes before, unless somebody
It is
forgot to note that down in their character description.
Incredible, like it's in incredible condition. Like this plastic has kept it excellent.
This is worth some serious bullets, guys.
This is.
This counts as a small thing, and if you wear it, you get +2 on manipulate. Because
Hey,
it's
can I wear this?
incredibly
I will totally wear the shit out of this.
Thing is,
That's mine.
if we... It's a team effort, come on.
Yeah, it is a team effort.
I set fire to myself to get it.
I had them chasing me so that we could get it.
Team effort.
I tell you what.
Now, as soon as you've got her
Let's
on it,
zip it
I
up.
don't mind giving you half the bullets for my share. Deal?
I should
Good.
note,
Let's go.
as I mentioned in the start intro of this thing, when it comes to artifact, it's like a common rule, direction, that all artifacts found in the zone should be returned to the Ark, to the Dawn Vault. And what that does mechanically is that actually improves your Ark in certain ways. Like this entire thing with like Ark stats, we didn't bother with it because this is supposed to be a short play. But basically, whenever you find an artifact, you have a choice of either using it yourself or returning it to the Ark and improving the score of like certain attributes of the Ark. Depending on how much every so.
I presume bringing the artifacts back to the Ark also builds our own reputation within the Ark too.
Yes, possibly. Not. Yes, depends on what the thing is. Generally, like as a Sunstalker, it's just a thing you're supposed to do. Like it's you're supposed to keep it. You are supposed to turn it in. But then, of course, like finding things is always like gives you, like, people know you're a person good at finding things. But it doesn't affect your reputation more than the fact that you went out of the zone and lived, which is great in its own regard. But yeah.
I have to
Not a
say,
good idea. Let's put the suit on the dog.
Yeah, best dressed mutt ever.
Yeah. Hell yeah. The dog will get +2. People will just be intimidated by this incredibly well-dressed dog. I guess you could, now that you know what a suit looks like, you could actually, like, commission
Commission one.
someone to make clothes for your
Got a
dog.
template now. That's what this is.
Yeah.
This is a template.
Yeah, a template. Oh, this is
So
fantastic.
none of them will look as good as this one because this is made with ancient techniques and materials. But
Hell yeah.
copy the basic pattern. Yeah, and everyone in the Ark could be wearing suits.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, the thing with the doll world is that if you leave it in, like they do it for study, so if you leave it into the doll world, they will 100% have a pattern for making suits and could alter it for your dog.
okay, I tell you what. If we take this suit
Okay,
back
yeah.
to the Ark, then that will benefit everybody, and everybody in the Ark will get basically the bonus to manipulation, dropping in and out of character there.
No, they won't. Will
They
get
should
different-
do.
The +2 to manipulation is a thing that you get personally for wearing.
For this, for this
Yeah.
suit being infant awesome.
It gets
Yeah.
them like, if you turn it in, I think this specific suit gives you +2 culture, which is one of the stats that the Ark can have.
Culture. See,
Uh,
you guys, I like that we're already talking about what this will do for our arc as a campaign, and we're gonna go basically looking
Looking
for
for
artifacts
yeah,
specific to being like,
Yeah.
we're gonna be walking through the freaking the zone.
If you thought you were getting away with running this only once, you're just going to have to kill our characters off. It's the only way.
I'm
Take
incredibly
off the
tempted,
side for more, but it's the only way to be sure.
but I'm incredibly tempted.
I have to suggest, though,
But in that case, we would need to start out the Ark, and I mean, that would require an entirely new session 0. We could possibly do that, could we?
Session 0.5.
Yeah, session 0.5.
yep. I have to say, and this is just a thought, that the suit or the clothes are wonderful and they need to go back to the Ark.
I don't disagree.
The case it's in is wonderful and can be rolled up very small and fit inside a backpack once the clothes have been removed.
That was what I was talking about when I said
No, you need to leave the clothes in the case for now.
For now, yes. But before we go back, then we take them out. There's no need to give up everything. Now, is there?
Yeah, we can keep the case.
I wonder if we can get this made in leather.
Oh, probably.
Every protocol says you have to turn into like leather gear. I am disappointed.
Don't worry. Don't worry. We are going to go full on like tailors and haberdashers.
As an artifact.
Okay. So, in the meantime, I will refold it. I'll zip it back up, refold it as I found it. And we will work out who can carry it, because I can't. Because I actually can't move while carrying it.
Since it's called as a smaller thing, it doesn't cost anything.
Oh, in that case, I can. That'll get shoved into my backpack then.
Cost for inventory space, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. We're going with point and click logic there.
Cool, love it.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
actually,
this
it's
game
specifically
uses point and
how,
click infantry system.
Yeah.
It is
I
you
love
have
that
this
this-
infantry slots.
The suit is still like pressed and well maintained because it hasn't been used for however long it's been laying there on the floor. It's just all the creases are in the right spot.
Yeah.
On the subject of the point and click infantry system, we never really got to grips with the infantry system in Coriolis. The scenario was very, quite enclosed, and you had a very limited amount of gear, so it never really featured. But that has exactly the same infantry system.
Yes, this one doesn't count. It doesn't count for inventory space at all, because it's listed as a smaller thing, not a light thing, and not a heavy thing.
Somebody's never had to carry a suit carrier.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
But I'm not
I
going to
don't-
argue with it.
No, I'm
Yeah,
not
but
arguing it.
I'll accept it.
I'm
I
okay
guess it's
with
because it's not that heavy. I don't know.
bad choices are good for us.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, so you find the thing. This was a little bit into your exploration of the zone. You keep walking, keep finding your way as you roll to roll. It's all fine. And eventually you come across about a sign. You come across like a couple of corpses, actually. And I think Goose is the one who mostly picks up on this. I say corpses, it makes me sound like they're human. There are about this size mutated rat carcasses.
ROUSs.
And they look fresh.
Yummy.
And there is also some signs of blood that seem to be headed west. Oh, southwest, I should specify. Sorry, southwest.
Does it look like the people's blood? Like normal people's blood?
Well, I guess there's
looks
going to be
fresh.
some rat blood, but
How what kind of study of blood have you made?
I study a lot of things.
You know what? Make a heal check. Sure.
I let the dog do all the studying of the blood.
Can I check,
But-
please, what killed the rats?
Yeah. Roll a comprehend. Comprehend.
Cheers.
Heal for shard, and do you want to do something with your dog?
Yeah, I want to get the dog to track. If the blood trail heads off in one direction, that's what we're going to focus on.
Yes.
Give us hint on that.
That's between you and the dog. So kindly not while you're on the
Oh,
yeah,
jeez.
Yes. So roll a Sikkim. Right. Yes. What did you get?
One success.
One success and shard.
I got 3 successes, or 2 of them were the attributes, and 1 was the skill.
Cool. And you, Shard, you want to know specifically, like, if it's what kind of... Yeah, I'll give you some information. This is definitely mutant blood. You recognize this as something you have worked with before. You recognize that is probably has only been here for like a couple of hours at most. Not that long ago. Yeah, seems fresh, still a little bit wet. Doesn't seem to be a lot of it, just a little smattering. So whatever isn't that damaged. Probably just some cuts and scrapes.
Yeah.
Druts.
Yo.
These were killed by a knife, you would reckon, some form of cutting weapon. Knight, what did you get?
Do ones negate successes at all?
No.
Phew,
Not
thank
unless-
Christ for that. In which case I've got 2 6s.
Excellent.
Right, I've got 2 6s no matter what, but the 2 1s don't cancel anything out, so I'm happy.
Excellent. In that
ones
case,
only have an effect if you push your roll.
Thank God I
Yes.
didn't push it.
that means that you, like the standard success is that your dog picks up the scent and knows which direction the target has headed. And for every extra, you get to choose an extra effect. The 3 extra effects listed are either how many hours after are you, is the target damaged, and is the target alone. So the 3 questions, you can ask one of them.
Is the target alone?
Goose reckon it is.
Excellent.
That's
And
little Timmy
you
stuck down
now
there.
have a direction to
I
try.
just have this image of Goose. How many of them are there? Just one scratch.
I believe our
Once,
target.
how many of them?
I believe our target is only a couple hours away from us.
And he's alone. Let's move.
And he also wields a knife, and he wields it rather well, I think
See
you'll
about
find.
I will make sure not to get close to him.
Ideally. Alright, okay, I guess we head off.
Just out of interest. We thinking maybe we might pick up some lunch from the corpses.
Well, I guess you'd have to check
Time's
for
against
Rob.
us. You know what? We'll catch him on the way back. It's
Yeah,
fine.
they'll still be here.
Cool. I think the answer to that one is no, because I think it's a specific Zone Stalker talent.
Yeah.
Because I know I had a previous character that you could harvest monsters, which is great. It's called like Butcher or something. But yes, alright. So, southward direction. that would make it stone. No wait, southeast. I don't know directions. It seems to be headed to A19 19I. I-19.
Okay.
Hang
on.
It seems to be pointing at.
Yep,
Which
it
means
is
now-
indeed called Butcher, the talent that lets you harvest. But it does also say that the meat is usually contaminated by rot, so it's best to combine it with the Zone Cook talent that lets
Correct.
you cook things in such a way.
Ah,
I-
I will have nothing to do with anybody who does cook. That's just not on.
Yeah, because in my previous group we were two Zone Stalkers, and I was playing a butcher, and she was playing chef thing, so she could cook them up, and I would kill them. But yeah, so you have a direction, you have a new section to explore. Would you like to rush or explore? Now you actually have a trail. You have, like, Goose has a direction.
Goose has a trail, but the thing is, I do want to go a little bit carefully because I don't want to run headlong into something that's going to eat our faces.
No, but he's 2 hours ahead of us.
Yes.
He was less than that when we left the Ark. He's getting away from us.
He is at the moment, but he is also going to have to rest.
I think we're actually catching up to him.
I thought Enola said it was an hour ago when we left.
It was an hour ago when they left. About an hour.
So if he's a couple hours of us now, he's gaining on us.
He's also wounded and is going to need to rest soon.
So it's 4 for them and 1.
Also, probably wouldn't be this far ahead if we hadn't stopped to get a suit.
Is this going to
But
be
it is a good looking
Take an
suit.
hour.
Is this
It
going
looks
to be
smart.
know the zone, or is it going to be lead the way / find the path?
It's always lead the way, find the path.
Lead the
whenever
way,
you're
find the
running,
path.
so-
Okay.
Do you wish to explore it? Yeah, you go to explore it,
Yeah.
I take it? Yes.
I mean, they can go
Um,
running off if they want, but I'm going to be a bit cautious.
And
In
I
that
should
case,
remind
I
you,
shall
Fishy,
also.
if you wish to use your scavenger thing, you get a +2 to roll. But that means you're forfeiting threats instead of focusing on things.
That's how it works. I honestly couldn't remember how it worked.
But if you get like bonus dice, you get bonus effects. You can use them to find effects instead. So you get a +2, but it's not certain that you will find friends. It's more certain you'll find artifacts.
Now, the interesting query I've got is where Drut is taking, or Swan is taking her time to lead us through the area. Would we know any difference based on, given the fact that we don't go out much, would we know whether they're speeding along, whether they're taking their time or doing a full sweep? I'm guessing we probably wouldn't, would we?
You know what? Do a sense motive thing.
I wasn't necessarily saying I want to roll against it. I was just thinking, is it something that we would actively notice if we weren't paying attention?
I'm not sure. I mean, after 2 hours, you would know that you hadn't really made that much pace. So you would at some point definitely know that you're, maybe not immediately, but somewhere along the way you would definitely know that, okay, we're taking a long time to sort of go through here. I can see that that's a good path to walk, but we're still checking this thing over here. Yeah.
Yep.
You would notice after a while.
I think I am going to use my scavenger on this, so I get the extra 2 dice to roll, but I have to use stunts if I want to find any threats, because otherwise I'm focused towards.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, I got out of that huge quantity of dice a whole 2 6s. Which I suppose actually is probably about average for the number of dice I rolled.
Yeah, and it's mutant term. Good. Everything. As long as you get 1 6, you're golden. That's all
Yeah.
you need.
I succeeded, and I got a stunt that I can use to keep an eye out for threats. If a bonus that I can use to keep an eye out for threats if I want to.
Yes, which means that both of you got 2. Let's see. Once again, bonus effects. Know where artifacts are. Know what level you're at. Finding bullets. Finding grub. Finding water. doing it half speed, or rushing in a quarter of the speed.
I'm going to go
Quarter.
for the half speed.
Cool. And you're finding threats. Gemmel? What would you wish to do with your extra? You're already kind of finding artifacts. What would you want to do with your extra? And you already have...
My understanding of the way the scavenger thing works is I'm finding an artifact because I rolled using scavenger. That's what the roll was effectively for. Or if there is an artifact to be found, anyway.
Yes, I believe so.
But I have to use as a bonus effect, essentially, if I want to keep an eye out, if I want to find any threats. So I am gonna use the bonus effect for that, to keep an eye out for any threats.
Yeah, but since there are two people, you don't necessarily need to do that either, because you have some...
Yeah, but
depending on how much
that
you
would
rely.
imply that I actually trust Swan. So
It would do that. But yeah, okay. Sure, okay. Yeah, which means you are actually...
much though I would like to find some bullets, I think it would be more in character to be using his extra time to be paranoid about things trying to eat him.
Very fair, very fair. Actually, I really need to go to the bathroom because I've been drinking Coke like nobody's business. So I'm going to take a 2-minute break.
Okay.
That's
So
an
if anyone wants
excellent idea.
to refill their drinks, we can do that. And we'll be back in just a second.
Okay.
Yeah. So while we're doing that, does anybody in chat have any questions about the game that they would like to ask? I can't guarantee I will be able to answer them since I literally bought it a few minutes ago.
On the other hand, that's
But
what
the core of
Control
the
F
system-
is for.
Yeah, that's what I've been using. The core of the system, however, is the same as Coriolis, which I ran only last year. Must have been last year, mustn't it?
It was. It was last year. It was the tail end of last year, but it was last year.
Well, if it was the tail end, it must have been the year before, because it certainly wasn't the tail end of last year.
Oh, it was the tail end of last year.
No, we ran Coriolis ages ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
But yeah, it was last year.
Go with Meki. Meki knows all.
I do have a cat here, but he's staying out of sight at the moment.
I love that their questions are about my cat.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, okay, we're watching a tabletop role-playing session. They're playing a game we're not familiar with. Let's ask questions about the cat, because that's the important thing. That's
Yeah.
the way it works.
Absolutely.
That's fine. Not everybody watches people play games to learn about them. They watch people play games to just witness people be terrible to each other or friendly to each other at one level or another.
So,
I think these people are
There's a lot of
terrible to
animals
each other
like that,
to a certain extent. I mean, Gemmel and Swan definitely get on. But the others are
Good.
clearly not trusted.
yes, Swan is irritating, but useful.
Yes. Swan is deliberately
He's
irritating.
Gemmel is probably more fond of Swan than he likes to admit to.
Gemmel is also
Yeah.
very much not a team player.
Oh, very much not a team player. No. I think the name, for those who are familiar with the John Shanno novels, the name will make perfect sense if you realise that that's where it came from. David Gemmel wrote a series of post-apocalyptic novels about a character called John Shanno, also known as the Jerusalem Man, because he was stalking the wastelands hunting for the mythical city of Jerusalem, which he never did find. And Shanno, Gemmel is not like Shanno in that Gemmel is not death on legs, which Shanno really was. But he just had no people skills at all. He was probably the closest comparison is a post-apocalyptic version of oh god, I've forgotten his name. The other one from the guy who wrote Conan.
Cull.
No. Later.
Oh, God. Solomon Kane.
Solomon Kane, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, if you can imagine a post-apocalyptic Solomon Kane, but with even less people skills, that's probably John Shannon.
Sorry,
And
James Purfoy as Solomon Kane had a serious impact on me.
He was very, very good, but I know that's not why he had a serious impact.
He was very good as well. He's one of the few people you could believe when he decrucified himself. That bloody hurt. And if you haven't seen the Solomon Kane movie, it's excellent.
Highly recommended, yeah.
Yes.
There is a Solomon Kane, an officially licensed Solomon Kane RPG.
Yes.
In fact.
It's
Well, I say an RPG. It's a setting for Savage Worlds.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Savage Worlds of Solomon Kane.
Yep.
Which, if
Oh.
it weren't so expensive, I would have picked up already.
Yeah. Yes, one of the things I do like a lot about Solomon Kane is it's a setting you don't see that often,
No.
to be
Really,
honest.
it's Solomon Kane. I mean, the era is certainly one you don't see that often. Solomon Kane and Maelstrom are the only games I can think of really that are set in that era. There might be others that I'm not bringing to mind.
Yeah. And at least as far as the film goes, I have to say, it's very rare that you will see somebody going double bubble on hand crossbows. On horseback, at a gallop. And it's the actor doing it, not a stuntman.
Yeah.
So that's always fun. Yes, she does indeed look like a bug. She's got the little antenna and everything. She is gorgeous.
I was very disappointed that Sarah didn't name her some insect name because that's all I could think of looking at her patterning.
I love that the tail looks like it's been grafted on from a different cat.
There's an outside cat that has almost the same patterning, except not the spots on the back. So I see the 2 spots on the forehead and the black tail, and I'm like, she's out again.
There's a cat lives down my road that is white, but it's got, you know, the tabby patterning? It's got 2 patches of literally just tabby patterning down 2 of its legs, so it does for all the world look like Frank and Kitty.
Nice.
Alright,
Thank you.
everyone's back.
Yep,
Let's
we're
get
back.
into it.
Thank you. This is the shirt patterning.
Yay!
Good chat. Alright, so you enter into your next sector. And this sector is slightly different than the other one. It almost has like a split to the east. Yeah, to the east. I know directions. To the east, there seems to be more like almost like a tree area. Not a forest by any means. The trees are too far in between. But I say trees. They're mostly just blackened husks of what used to be a tree, still reaching towards the sun that isn't there anymore. And the other half, the western half, seems to be more of like a living area with the apartment complex and ruined, of course, utterly ruined. But there seems to be like almost split in this sector. And you start heading in and you start looking through it. Gamon, why don't you just roll me 3d6s, like a T666.
666, huh?
Yeah.
Dice roll of the beast.
Roll the beast where this happens.
On a 666, that would be 125.
I want it so much to be 126, but I'm gonna go with it anyway. Yeah, I was reading it going, I kind of hope it gets this, and then you got 1 under, but that's fine. So, you're walking through this apartment complex, like occasionally ducking into like buildings and ruins and things, just to make sure, cover your bases, and you find a little, like what looks like a book. It's in like some form of like red plastic. Plastic. That's a fun way to pronounce it.
Plastic.
Terribly.
Terribly.
With being a Swede, so that I can get to choose which accent every word is pronounced with. I can just tell how much I want, and you have no control over that. But yeah, and blossomed like on the it's almost like a pocketbook, like it doesn't have a proper spine. But on the front and on down the spine, it says, and this is actually funny because it's the same in English, so it's fine. Bible. and it seems to be filled with like the pages seem to be kind of thin, but it seems to be filled with text.
I can probably read it.
This is an amount of fact I should point out. This is a piece of scrap. There are no artifacts here, but we'll find a piece of scrap. It's a fun thing. But you keep walking through the zone after this finding this briefing. This zone, the sector is in the zone, so it's fine.
We still have the guy's scent, right?
Correct. Goose is full on. And after a while, you, in the distance, like between a couple of buildings, you see a dot of something darting past. And you could all roll scout if you wish.
Yeah,
There's
I was going to say, can
something-
we scout that?
I have that
Yes.
skill.
Definitely. You don't need to have skills to use them. The only skills you need to have are the class specific ones.
So it's a wits roll if you don't have
Correct.
scout or wits plus scout
Yes!
if you do. I got 1-6. So
I got
that's
3
a
of the
success.
buggers.
Oh shit!
Oh, I'd say you just showed
Really?
up
Wow.
Good grief.
Let's look.
It's the one
up.
good
now. How many
roll I'm
dice
going to
were you
make.
rolling?
I got
That's me
3
done for the evening
successes.
now.
Oh, all right.
I'm just glitching on whether I've got scout. Oh yes, I have. Okay.
Hey, I'm not going to be useful in a fight, but I'm good at other things. Like inspiring and noticing things.
I got 2 successes, by the way, on the scout check.
Cool. Okay, cool. With the bonus effects are 3 questions that you can pick from. It's either, is it after me? Are there any more nearby? How do I get past, away, around? That's the same question. So Knight, what 2 bonus question would you like to ask?
Oh, I get 2 of them. Okay, how do we get around it? And we don't know for sure that it's hunting us, so is it after us?
Alright. And the start also got bonus questions. Are you asking the same? Are you asking the same ones or asking one different? Otherwise you just get the same information. Shot.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry. You had also rolled 3 successes, correct? So you get 2 questions you can ask. Do you wish them to be the same as Knight, so you get the same information, or would you like to switch one of them up?
So what are the questions that I can ask?
Yeah, no, it's alright. Is it after us? Are there more of them? And how do I get around, past, away? Yeah.
How do I get around, past, or away, and are there more of them?
Cool. Anyone else got any? I mean, it's fine. We have covered all those questions at this point, so it's okay. If you rolled more than you know this. Okay. There seems to be only one of them. It doesn't seem to be after you, and you reckon it could be fairly easy to just move around it. It doesn't seem, just by ducking into another building, so it doesn't seem to be that hard to be able to move around whatever it is.
Yeah, let's avoid.
Nope.
Yeah.
What do we get
Avoid
just for
disease.
basic succeeding rather than the addition?
Oh yeah, sorry. It seems to be a fairly small shape that could possibly be humanoid. You're not quite sure, to use classic D&D terms.
It's a trailing halfling from Dark Sun. We're all dead.
Yep, we're toast.
And it seems to, yeah, it was just rushing into further along. That's kind of all you can tell at this distance. Are you trying to avoid it? Or what are you doing? What's the plan?
Well, I think largely for guidance, we're still reliant on,
Goose.
or between Goose and Swan.
Yeah.
Goose has the scent, but Swan can guide us safely. If she wants to.
And if we have to go off track from the actual scent trail,
We've got to then come back to it somehow.
Yeah.
yeah, we know the general direction, so coming back to it shouldn't be too hard. And
You
if
know
nothing
what?
else,
Roll me scout for your dog. That you get to roll a sick'em with your own. Yeah, it's basically the same, and you get plus. I give you a +1 because you have a scent.
Okay. Plus,
So
is
you
that
roll-
+1 die or +1 for the roll?
+1 skill die.
Okay. And this is on Stickum rather than Scout, is it?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Guys, I'm gonna disconnect the phone and just show you this. I
Okay.
would love this if I was playing Yahtzee. Don't know if you can see
That's
that.
it.
Is that 3 6s and 3 1s?
Yep.
Phew.
Whoa.
Oh wow.
Okay. Well, the
I'm
same.
glad I
okay.
didn't say I was pushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You actually can decide to push it after you've already rolled it.
Not pushing.
Yeah. Noted. So, cool. Goose seems to want to head in this direction. Into the direction of wherever that thing was.
What if that thing is our target? We could be about to bypass our target. It's not after us. And that's the way Goose wants to go. She's pulling really hard too. She wants to go down there.
I'm assuming
Alright.
Gemmel is off. Probably in a nearby building at the
Yeah.
moment. We've established that he's moving to the side of the group. But since you seem to have stopped to have a debate, he will come back to find out what's going on.
We saw something moving down there. Might be our target, might be something else.
we should be sneaking around them and get a better idea of what it looks like. But there are multiple things, right? That was
No.
one of the answers. It's just
You
the
only
one.
saw one, yeah.
Just one thing, we could get around it. It's not after us, we know that.
Mm.
I think this is it. I think this is our target. This is what we're after.
Well, if we walk around the other side and come at him from a different direction, it's not going to be him being chased. It's going to be him dealing with someone on the, from out in the
There's
zone
one
instead.
One at both.
I think it's a good idea.
You got these two that are good with the getting through the shadow stuff. They know the zone. You guys go around in front. We come up to the line. He's got nowhere to go, has he?
Seems like a decent plan.
This all sounds terribly dangerous. It really does.
He stepped outside the arc. He got dangerous from then on. This ain't no different.
But
How many times have
don't-
you been out here?
Oh, lots. The problem is, and this is pointing at Gemmel, and doing this business, we know how dangerous it is, so we don't take foolish risks. You lot don't know how dangerous it is, otherwise you'd be out here all the time. And having a dog does not help.
You just said they'd be out here all the time if they knew how dangerous it was. If they knew how dangerous it was, they'd never come out here.
Well, yes, but that's because
I've
they're not
taken
brave.
a trip or two.
Yes, but how often, to be fair, have you left the Ark? We're not talking about munching on hallucinogenics.
How far away is this guy getting while we stand here in the act?
Exactly.
I'm not the one that was talking.
Well, you have been, actually.
Okay, so we're going to flank him. Who's going which way?
I'm with the dog, so we're just going straight in. So, Cinder, you and Swan will be best flank.
I'll take the left, then. If that's what we're doing.
Give us a few minutes to get into position before you move in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna sneak behind Reimer.
Cool. Right, so you're splitting up, and
Yep, we are splitting the party
We're
because
splitting
that's
the party.
always a good plan.
To be fair, we're splitting the party into a classic pincer movement, so it's
Yeah,
fine.
this isn't.
We
Yeah.
are making a classic fencer movement, yeah. I mean, I don't know whether that's what anyone else has in mind, but what is in Gemmel's mind here is that Swan and Gemmel are both moving to get effectively in front of this guy, and then the others will come up behind.
Well, that's what's in Swan's head, so that's quite a
Yeah.
relief,
I
actually.
hope that's what everybody has.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a,
once you start getting closer, are you planning to stealth?
Yes.
oh no, I'm
We
already
want to-
stealthing. I
Yes.
rolled 1 success for sneaking.
Cool. Yeah, the rest of you roll stealth.
Stealth stuff.
Okay, so sneak is
Sneak.
agility
Agility.
plus.
I have but one success.
Because you are basically trying to do an ambush on this one.
Okay, I'm looking up the rules on pushing.
Yep.
I got a success.
Excellent.
Yep, more than I got.
Oh.
So yeah, like pushing your roll. Right, I grab up. So basically, I look at everything that didn't come up as a 1 or a 6, isn't it? Effectively.
Correct.
Base dice and gear dice that show 2 to 5, and skill dice that show 1 to 5. So the skill dice I can actually re-roll both of,
Yeah, I think if it's
and
a
I can
skill...
re-roll 3 of my base dice.
Yeah. Yeah, and if it's a 1 on a skill dice, you can reroll that one as well.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
those can't do anything. Ones on that.
Yeah, it was. Unfortunately, one of my ones was on a base die, so that one I don't get to reroll. Oh, for God's sake! Well, at least I got a couple of 6s this time out. However, I'm now up to 2 1s on the base dice.
Fish!
Yes, but that means takes 2 points of trauma. If you got 2 ones on base dice. On the specific, and not trauma, you get damage on the thing that you were rolling, which in this case
Yeah.
would be
Agility.
In this case, it's
agility.
agility.
So you get 2 damage on agility.
Ow.
Agility.
Yeah.
So agility. And you get 2 mutation points.
Fish,
Those were based.
would you like to just stand up and show people your shirt again?
Crit happens, guys. Crit happens.
It has to be better.
Ah, yes.
But you got mutation points.
Yeah.
So you can rot slurp.
I've got the mutation points that I need in order to find some rot and heal this attribute loss.
Or possibly just immolate someone and possibly yourself.
Or
at the same
immolate
time.
someone. Yeah. Me, so far, it seems to be the way pyrokinetics work.
Cool. How
But I did
close-
become stealthy eventually.
How close do you want to go? This is
I want to get past him, them, it,
Yeah.
and move in to block their route.
the distances are either distant, long, short, close, or arm length.
Yeah. Ideally, I would like to get to long distance, but on the other side, because
That's like
I
a
like
couple
to
hundred
snipe
meters.
people.
Yes, yes,
That's a couple hundred
sniping.
meters.
But I may have to, I may have to forego that and just go at the next one back.
It is short.
Fair enough.
Because that's between 20 to 30 meters.
Are we okay with killing this
Yeah,
guy?
short distance then.
I don't think there was any. Well, I'm not there because you'd have to be talking to Gemmel.
How far / close with the rest of you are you aiming? How far up are you aiming to get to this guy? What?
I want to get, as Fish said, I want to get ahead of him. But if I can get into one of the ruined buildings and get some elevation ahead of him, that would be ideal. Because again, sniping is a thing.
Yes, but I'm assuming in that case that you're aiming for like a short distance as well, not more than 20-30 meters.
What's the range on the scrap rifle? Long.
It's long.
Long,
Okay, so
yeah.
would you like to be long away in that case?
I would probably like to be quite long.
Okay, and
Okay.
the same goes for your Fish as well. Or are you just aiming for short or long?
My preference would be for long. Well, Gemmel's preference would be for long, but in this circumstance, he's going to go for short because he doesn't think that it's wise to try and get that far ahead.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. Night. Are you aiming for what distance are you aiming for sneaking up?
That's a very good question.
Like, assuming you go unnoticed, where would you like to be? Are you like aiming to get up to the person, or are you aiming to stop?
Assuming that you go unnoticed, where would you like to be? That one's him.
Pretty much. I was trying to find a way to word it, but yeah.
Hit
Assuming I
E.
go unnoticed, close
That would
enough
be-
to slice his throat.
Yeah, arm length. That would be in that case. That's
Yeah.
right.
Moving into melee range.
Yes. Shot. What are your plans?
He is
I'll be
avoiding
like-
social distancing.
I will be like 15, 20 feet behind behind Drimer, and my notebook's out again, and I'm drawing pictures and writing down notes for what's happening.
That would be
and
short.
and I'm also writing a short little thing to say to inspire him when he attacks.
Alright, and on your stealth rolls, did anyone get more than one? Only Fish? The rest of you didn't?
I only got one success for my
Just one for
stealth.
me.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you need me to roll a
Um,
second for stealth for the dog as well? Or does that get looped in with mine?
No, it's
Cool.
it's you. By all for intents and purposes, it's you. Just give me a second. That would technically mean that you would have gotten like a disadvantage on your, not disadvantage, but you would get a minus modifier depending on close work. But I forgot to ask beforehand, and it doesn't matter because he rolled a success on his scout. So some of you are detected before this properly kicks off. So allow me to figure out a quick thing first. As I scour through my books because I've got to do some things. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that. That's awesome. Cool. So you all start to position yourself. Swans, your goal is to get up in a building. Fish, Gemmel, your plan is to like move around so you're behind him, correct?
Yeah, to move around. If Reimer and Mr. Moon are effectively coming up behind the guy, I want to move around to be in front of him, and probably also will be hiding in a building, but not trying to get elevation.
Cool.
Just trying to get a line of sight down what was once a street with my gun, so that I've got him covered.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think I've been seeing the range going for long. I've been thinking in terms of elevation as well, so I'm not necessarily half a mile up the street, but I'm as high as I can get, and I'm on the
probably
left-hand
not
side.
much. Yeah, probably not much
Yeah.
far behind where Gemmel is, but higher up, increasing the range accordingly.
Yeah, if I can find, a convenient area of sandbags, where it's hit E to enter the sniper's nest.
What you should do is find a convenient streetlight, step out of the shade and say something like, "You and me, babe, how about it?"
Drot, go ahead and roll.
I will now stop quoting song lyrics.
Sorry, go ahead and roll what? Sorry, Fish was
Another
talking.
d6 for me, yes. Tell me if it's a 6.
Just a d6.
Yes.
Okay, I'll roll my nice purple d6, which is a 6. Sorry.
Okay. It's a 6.
I apologise.
I mean, I'll live with it. This guy won't.
I mean, I literally had no idea if it was who it was spotting or.
I brought this upon myself. So excellent, cool. So as Knight and Shard are heading up, I'm going to roll a thing.
It explodes!
It explodes in glorious, glorious fire.
Oh, Cinder's been there.
I'm used to that.
That's not very good. But it is. You know what? Yeah. Okay, so as you, the two of you are walking up, the two Stone Stalkers have already gotten into position. You wouldn't know this, but for the sake of everyone else, you know it. We know it. We as the collective player.
That was the
You
intent
hope
for the
that
plan.
the two Zone Stalkers have got into position.
You
Yeah.
hope that you got it correct. And as you, when you are a short distance away, a rock hits you. Yes. Yeah, sure. I'm a little bit goosey on the combat rule now. Why did I close this? Can someone tell me that? Why am I?
Oh no.
Why are you like this?
Because
Why
you're
am I like this?
keen to have things nice and properly in their place,
Yes,
and thus closed on the side is perfect.
definitely. You take 1 point of damage as a rock kind of hits your shoulder.
From behind?
No, and you can actually see it. You can see a person, a mutant, sitting a short distance away, like with his back to some piece of scrap that's just chilling out in the street. You are, for the sake of this, yeah, you're on a street, and they are surrounded by buildings, and these two are in buildings where they wish to be positioned because they managed to do their sneak rolls. But you've been hit, which means that we're going to roll initiative. So, initiative is just a simple d6. The two of the people who manage to hide, you get a +2 to your initiative.
Hey.
Yay.
The Shard and Knight, you only get... No, wait, Shard, you managed to... How many... No, you only get one stuff.
I only got one success, but I'm also behind him, so...
Yeah, I mean, you're probably not... Yeah, you are behind, but this doesn't affect your initiative. Just a regular d6, nothing add to it.
That's fine.
I got a total of 7.
God damn it.
I have a total of 8.
Well done.
It's 5 for me.
Fine.
That's 2.
One not down. 2
Nope.
for Shard. And I got 3. That's okay. Give me a second. G. Oh, you all have different names. Like all your names begin with different letters. This is beautiful. This is
So handy when that happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love it so much.
I forgot to mention, Mr. isn't a title, it's a name.
I mean, of
It is a
course.
name, yeah.
Yeah, I
Of
remember.
course. Definitely. Cool. Stone Stalkers, you see this rock being slung, and you see peeking out from beneath cover. Since your position is not away, that the cover doesn't cover him from where you're sitting. From where you're sitting tight. So you see this mutant with and you recognize him. You have seen him before in the zone. He's dressed in kind of like a gray jacket that has tears along one side, which you assume might be from some form of critter-like creature. And the outside of his pants are kind of wrapped tightly with fabric. But you definitely see this guy before, and you recognize him as Brock. He's also a Stone Stalker. And thus, Gemo,
What's the name of our target?
Brog.
So this is Brog, but we're looking for
This is our
Brog.
target.
Yeah, this is Brog, but you're looking for Brog.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
Same
It
name.
ends in... Oh, it is the same name. Okay,
Yeah,
this
sorry.
is...
His Brog monster.
I thought it was I thought it was two different names with the first three letters being the same and the last letter being different.
Oh, no, it's the same. B-R-O-G.
Okay.
So, Gemma,
Brog's the one that threw the rock?
correct. He seems to be wielding some form of sling.
Got lucky.
And that was a point of damage to which stat?
Strength.
Okay.
So, Gemma, what would you wish to do? You are a long distance away.
Wrangle a cat, apparently.
I would like to aim. I seem to recall this game has an aim mechanic.
It has indeed. You can use... Okay, so how combat works, now that we're getting into it, is that you can either do two maneuvers. Maneuver is anything that doesn't require a dice roll. It's things like picking up things from the ground, picking up things from the backpack, moving, like running. Like one maneuver will get you one distance closer. Like you can go from close to arm's length by using one maneuver. And things like aiming as well. That costs you a maneuver. So you can use two maneuvers in a round, or use one maneuver and one action. Actions is anything that require dice rolls plus mutations.
I've got the aiming page up because I may possibly have the
I
word
had
as
it.
well.
What it means is that you use your maneuver.
Aiming's not as useful as I was hoping.
Yeah, but you can get up to two because
because-
you're inside a building, so I reckon that's solid cover.
Yes, but you would.
Yeah, I reckon I can get the +2 version of aim. But the thing is, what I wanted to do was aim at him so that I could be ready to fire if I need to. And you can't carry over the aim bonus to a later turn.
Yeah.
So it's not as useful as I
No.
would have hoped. Now I'm going to get really complicated here, and if you say I have absolutely no idea, then don't worry, I won't do it. Is there such a thing as essentially shooting to cripple?
Interesting.
Uh,
I like non-lethal.
I'm assuming
damage.
it would have to come down to stunts, basically, wouldn't it? I would need multiple sixes in order to get a bonus effect that would in some way.
Yes, it would.
Cripple him.
There are bonus effects for shooting with, like, for example, unarmed people and things like that, or stops them from moving or knocks them prone and things like that. I don't think it's just something that you automatically can declare before making your roll. But it's something that you can shoot and spend bonus effects if you manage to get any bonus effect, that is. Correct. Should mention there is also, you don't necessarily need to do physical actions, unlike Witcher, where there is differences between social and physical encounters. You can use your action to do a manipulation instead in a normal combat round. There is always like social like all encounters are the same, even if you're trying to talk to someone or if you're trying to attack them. So, which is very cool because that means you literally have the ability to say stop shooting. We're more people than you. Stop shooting and then stop. Instead of having it be a thing like that. Yes. So that's how combat works. What do you wish to do, Gamel? And we will take combat board comes along.
From where I am I aware that he's slinging at my companions? Do I know that he did that?
Yes.
Right, if I know that he is attacking them with a sling, then I suppose I'm going to shoot him.
I
So,
suppose I'll protect them.
I will aim for my maneuver then,
Yep.
which, since I'm probably aiming out of through an empty
Sure.
window hole, I think is probably going to give me the +2 version of aim and shoot at the bugger.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Have him.
Okay, so my shoot is 2 plus my agility of... right, now, currently my agility is only 2, isn't it? Because I've taken agility damage by pushing.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So you roll with less.
So I'm rolling with less dice, and then those 2 will be my bonus from aiming. Actually, I get a bonus of +1 from the scrap rifle. So is that
Correct.
actually an extra die that I am rolling?
Yes, that's exactly rolling, and it should be a specific one, so because your
Yeah, this is
bin
why
could break.
I've now not got enough dice. I've got enough. I just don't have enough handy. So that's going to have to be my gear die until I find some more a little bigger than the others.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's fine.
Okay, so that's sold all of my base dice. Sold all of any of my bonus dice. Oh, I got a 1 on the gear die, so I think that's actually going to do something horrible because I've got a 2.
No, only if you press it.
Only if I'm pushing. Oh, good. But I got 6s on both of my skill dice,
Okay,
so
that's
I do
Wow.
have 2 6s.
Nice.
excellent.
Groovy.
Excellent. Where's my?
Which is pretty good, actually. That's 2 6s out of 7 dice. That's
Yeah.
above the odds.
So something's going to go
Good for
horribly,
you.
horribly wrong for you.
You mean besides setting fire to myself?
Yeah. Because that was only brief. You'll set fire to yourself while standing on top of an undiscovered kerosene tank.
Look, I've taken 3 points of damage already in this scenario.
Yeah.
How many have you
You've done it
taken?
for yourself.
I've taken one.
I didn't want to take any damage from me because I wanted to leave it all for you.
You wanted to leave it all for me. Thank you very much. Yes.
The bonus
I
effect
feel
you
I'm
can
being so greedy, hogging all the damage. I will have to give some to the rest of you.
Yes. Yeah, roll another fumble on the pyrotechnics and you never know.
Okay, so the damage from a scrap rifle is listed as 2.
Yes, that's correct. And the bonus effect you can choose is you can either give an extra point of damage. You could force the enemy to like keep his head down, which will give him 1 point of stress as well.
Ooh,
Uh,
I'm
or
just
you
looking
could-
at this list and seeing the words, your target drops a weapon or other handheld object.
Oh, ha ha ha.
You could also
Yeah.
force him to be knocked prone or be knocked over something like fall down a ledge.
How
Or you
how
could-
close had Reiner managed to get? Reiner managed to
short distance, so
get?
20,
So
30.
he can't quite get into melee with 1 maneuver. It'll take him 2 maneuvers to get there.
Yeah.
Correct. But if I remember correctly, Raymer like his bicycle chain is close distant.
Bike chain
I'm
is
not
close,
sure.
yes.
Yes.
So,
So
yeah, I
you
think-
could get up.
I think my best bet then, I'm going to go for the knockdown, essentially. I'm going to put a bullet in him and knock him to the ground in addition to doing 2 points of damage, giving
Cool.
Reimer time to advance while he's on the floor.
All right.
But
Excellent.
that's used half of my bullets.
Yeah.
That one shot you
So-
thought, ooh.
Yes, be like that. Let's see, 2 seconds. All right. Okay.
Every bullet that you use to keep Raymer away, I'll pay you for it.
Wait, keep Raymer away? What?
Yeah, we
Awake.
don't want you around
Oh,
here.
wait.
Yeah.
I think you meant alive, yes.
Yeah, my words are starting not to work.
I'm familiar with the concept.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Instantly
I know that
familiar with
feeling
it.
well at the moment.
You managed to shoot him right in his stomach area, and you can see him completely sag to the ground as his leg stops working.
Nice.
His
Uh,
legs stop working.
His legs
Oh my gosh,
stopped working.
I love language barriers.
Is this a clone? Like, can he duplicate himself? Is this just a facsimile?
It is Gamel's turn is over. It is Swan's turn. This guy is
Okay.
now laying on the ground. He does not appear to be moving.
Okay, which makes my life slightly harder.
Look around for any other people.
That's what. Yeah. Well, no. That's. You. Can I take my turn, please? So if you taking my turn for me. No, what I was going to say was that I want to make sure that he's alone. There's no point me aiming at him. So I am. I haven't got scope or anything. I really wish I did. It's something to keep
just
my eyes
roll a
open
regular
for.
scout. 'Cause that
Yeah.
That's what it will be. Since after this shot echoes out from
Yeah.
the rifle.
So that's on wits. So it's 1 of them and 3 of them. And I'll get back to you in a minute. It's a 6. That's not. And that's a 6. So I've got 2 6s on the scout.
2 6s.
1 from the skill, 1 from the stat.
Yes. Excellent. Give me 2 seconds. Cool. Yeah, I don't think you can get. Oh yeah, no, never mind. There is bonus effects. The bonus effects are. Let's see if I can remember this. Are there more of them? Are there after me? And how can I get around them? Before you decide, I'm going to tell you what you see. You're kind of up on this roof, not roof, but on the second story of an apartment complex, and you see in the distance, like a long ways away, a long distance away, if you want to use technical game terms.
Okay.
You see something in a window of another apartment complex
Oh, do I now?
that appears to be trying to not be seen, but is failing.
Uh-huh.
What questions would you like to ask?
I would like to ask if I can get a line on the person hiding in the window.
This is not a question.
Can I get a line on the person in the there's specific questions we can ask, or that
They have cover. It will be hard. You could certainly try to hit them on your next turn. You don't have any actions left to use.
no, that's fine. I would be
You still have a
expecting
bonus
that.
effect left though, because that doesn't count as a bonus effect. Would you like to know if they're after you, if there are more than them, or if how
It
do you
comes
get around?
under "Are they after me?" is basically after "Are they after us?"
Yeah. Yes. You. Given the posture and the quick duck down, yes, they're after you.
Okay.
But they're a long distance away.
Okay. I can cope with long. Long's good.
That's your turn.
Yep.
Unless you want to use a maneuver. To do
No,
that.
that's fine. I'm next turn. I will be doing something about them.
Cool. Amazing. Yes. So, that brings us to Rayma. It is your turn. You are shortest away from this creature.
Right,
This
so
mutant.
how far can I travel in the space of 1 turn? And still
You can either use 2 maneuvers or 1 maneuver, 1 action. Each maneuver gives you 1 distance closer. So you are currently short. By using 1 maneuver, you will get close. By using 2, you will get arm length.
Could I use my move skill to get whatever's the next range from close?
I do not believe so. Move in general, if you're using it in combat, is a quick exit. That's the thing you use when you want to say, I run away, and don't come back. That's basically what the move skill is for. In Swedish, it's called flight. If that makes it any more
That
clear.
makes sense. Okay, cool. So if I move into close, I can do 1 action, right?
Correct.
Okay, I'll move into close.
Yes.
Go chase him down, Goose. Sick him.
Chopper,
So,
sick balls.
I can inspire for making his roll better and just lose my turn, correct?
Yes, you could. You'd use your action. You would still have a maneuver.
Oh, okay. I mean, technically I'm inspiring Goose, but it's, all based off of Grimer stats, because basically Goose and Grimer are the same
It's a
thing.
stealth entity.
So, I just point my pen in the same direction that Goose has gone, and I said, "People's best friend will lead you lead you to the end."
Nice.
I love it.
Okay, roll your inspire. Start.
It's 2 successes.
Cool. And if I remember correctly, that just means that you get a plus. So that's a +3 that Knight is getting. This is +2 regular, and then it's an extra up, so it's +1 for that one, so it's 3. And just make sure with Knight, you're using your dog to attack the person on the ground.
Yep.
Cool.
My initial intent was to approach and talk to him, but after he slung the rock, no, shit's down.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, go ahead and roll your Sikkim.
So this is my Sikkim plus how many dice for the enhancement?
+3. 3 skill dice. Yeah.
Okay. Give me a sec. 3. Jesus wept. Okay. 1 single solitary 6.
That's mutant for you. That's any Felix system, sitting there with 12 dice and rolling 1 success. Cool. Your dog has a weapon damage of 2. So it bites into the leg of this person. He doesn't seem to be reacting at all.
He's got a bullet in his
As you
gut.
start biting and start dragging around, in the way dogs and biting does, and is growling. Meanwhile, this person on the ground doesn't seem to be reacting or moving.
Like they're already dead, kind of.
Possibly, or unconscious. Almost like he was damaged before and then got damaged again.
Almost.
Almost.
Straight out,
See,
takes out.
if he hadn't launched that rocket, it'd have been perfectly fine.
Yeah.
He brought about his own demise, bless him.
Tried. Oh, did he try? I only thought it was 2 of you and not 4 of you.
He's done his part.
Yeah. He only had 2 dice, alright? Leave.
Poor little Mike.
I don't feel sympathy for him. You've set your dog to rip his nuts off.
You shouldn't have thrown a rock.
That dog is very inspired right now, too. It really wants to rip those nuts off.
I'm just trying to check if you can get more critical damage if you get damaged again, but I'm just going to say no.
I've almost got this image of Goose coming back with an ankle.
You're a nicer man than me.
Raymer's all done. It is technically the mutant's turn, and he plays that. And it is Mr. Moon's.
I'm gonna... Well, I've only got 1 maneuver, so I'm gonna move closer so that I can try and see if he's actually still alive.
So you were short from him, so now you're moving. No, wait, you were technically.
I was like
behind.
15 feet behind Raymer.
So, would you like to? Yeah, that would still be short distance. Yeah, you just moved to your short as well. So you're technically on the same range, you and Raymer.
Yeah.
No, wait, no, never mind, because Raymer is close and you're short. It shakes out. It's good. So you're short away, he's close. Cool. It is more people per person. Thank you, Felix. Good words. Excellent words, Felix. I am happy to oblige. Give me a second as I count out my dice. That's alright. Awesome. Yeah, cool. So the 2 people up in the the 2 people with their weapons out, kind of scouting around and not focused on the person on the ground. No, wait. Actually, I think this is only. This would only Swan because she's the only one who has noticed anything else going on. you see that you see a group of people dashing from one building into another, seeking shelter. They are still a long distance away from you. You see a group of 4 people moving. And that's their turn, and we're up to Gemmel.
More people coming at us. This guy was working for another freaking arc.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which means what we've come to is the handover zone.
Excellent. We've got here first.
And
Yeah,
we've got
cool.
two canaries. Got 2 canaries hiding out and shooting and sniping, and 2 really good pieces of bait.
I feel so comfortable at that thought. So comfortable.
Now, let's just quickly check something. So I want to know if a rule exists in...
How do you check the aliveness?
Nope, it doesn't. Right, okay.
Well, if he doesn't whimper after being bitten, I think he's failed the
So
first test.
I'm effectively going to do nothing this round, I think, because
You're not gonna
there's
look around to see if
no-
there's anything else?
there's no obvious targets for me right now. I'm keeping an eye on this guy, but otherwise, I think there's no actual. Coriolis has an Overwatch rule, but it doesn't exist in Mutant Zero, so
Ah,
I will ignore that.
Wait.
Or if it does, it's called something different because I searched
Yeah.
it. It wasn't
I
there.
think there is something I think I've glossed over. There was that you could kind of do a held action, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, no, that's effectively what Overwatch Fire and Coriolis.
Yeah. Should mention, you need to reload your weapons as well, and that's a maneuver.
Yeah, so yeah, I will spend a maneuver to reload my weapon.
Yes. Good plan.
Well reminded.
Yes. It's not at all that I just read the rule of it. In big letters it said reloading, and I was like, oh, right, that's a thing.
Yes, because of course it's a scratch rifle. It's going to be a single shot weapon. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, no, I can't find it, so we're just going to say no for now, and correct ourselves in the future if we play again.
So yeah, so at the moment, I am just waiting to see what I can do in a future round
Cool. Yep, you're reloading and shilling.
and reloading other than that. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, it is Swan again.
Swan. I've got to reload, haven't I?
No, you haven't fired.
I haven't shot yet. Of course I haven't. Sorry. I got excited then.
I mean, if you want to swap the bullet that you've got in there for a different bullet, you're entitled to do so. But
Bullet trading. No, I am going to aim, and then I'm going to shoot whoever is in that other window who's endeavouring not to be seen.
They have moved. That was the group that moved. It seems to be more than 1 people at this point.
Okay.
1 people. People is plural. Yeah, English. Yes. So, but you can still do that and shoot one of them.
I will shoot one of them then. So, my shooting is... Oh, actually, that's bloody hell. Yeah, that's actually one of the things I'm best at. I'm very, very good at dealing death from quite a long way away.
excellent.
Which is pretty much in character for Swan, the fragile, breakable, please don't hurt me.
yeah, that makes sense.
You know, we didn't think this out. I should have given you guys bullets before you went away because you're gonna run out of bullets faster this way.
Oh.
Yeah, I've only got 1 bullet left.
The +2 works out to +2 dice, doesn't it? For aiming.
Yes,
Yes.
correct.
Cool, cool.
And that's skill dice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One so far. Yep, that's 2. Yeah, go in. 3 successes. I was rolling a bucket load of dice. I was rolling 8.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, bonus effects in that case. You can do extra damage, you can knock them out, you can cause them to drop something they're holding, although it's kind of hard to see at this point in Dodge's skill. You could increase your initiative by 2, which all real initiative will go before damage. Or yeah, force them to go prone, or you can also force them to get 1 point of stress.
I'm going to knock them out, actually. I'm not sure how one does that with a bullet.
You could, because you can, if you want to increase your damage, you can increase it by 1 for each die that you roll above a 1. So you roll 3 dice, that means you could do 2 damage, plus 1, plus 1, so that's 4 points of damage to one creature. Which,
damage.
The max being 5, is a shitload of damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
And would take off most people.
It's going to render them broken.
I'm just thinking
In
in
terms-
terms... Yes, I'm just thinking in terms of if I can knock one out rather than killing. That gives us somebody to talk to.
There's
Yeah.
no real way for you to do that. However, the way it works, when they're broken, if they're broken by a damage,
Yeah.
like you shooting them, there is then a critical roll. Not all the critical rolls results are
Gotcha.
lethal.
Correct.
So you can't say I'm going to shoot him and not kill him, but you can just shoot him and hope.
Right, in that case...
Also,
You
I
can
can.
only... Sorry?
I'm sorry. I was just going to say. Also, I can heal them back up to consciousness.
Okay,
There's only 2
Some of the
critical
criticals are
on the
really
critical
nasty.
thing. There's only 2 of the things on the critical
Yeah.
that actually kills you outright.
in that case,
Alpha.
I will shoot for extra damage then.
Okay. So you're making 4 points of damage? Or would you like to... You can just do 3 points of damage and add something else. Or you
No,
can
I'll just do
this.
the straight through.
Cool. Excellent. You do that. So, why did I do that? That's not... I need another type of dice.
He hits and I'm going to need more dice.
That's what scares me.
It's fine. It's fine. You're just very worried. No,
I'll get you.
I would never kill anyone of you. Cool. Yeah,
Stupid.
you shoot a person. I should keep that one. And then people critical. That's the big one, that's the small one. Okay.
Weirds me out that you can do that in Conan, by the way. You can shoot people with healing arrows.
That's awesome. I'm going to do that.
That's a thing.
Yeah, you can shoot arrows which have little bags of healing powder. I think the idea is you shoot it at the ground near people.
No, I'm just going to shoot you in the shoulder and let it poof against it, and then you heal around the arrow, and the arrow becomes a piercing.
You shoot them and they go down.
Right. What? Just out of curiosity, what did the critical table come out as?
Yeah, you don't know that. You can tell me this is
We're depopulating the zone, guys.
Yep. No, what we're doing is adding to the fresh meat collection.
There is actually, you can get cannibalism as a thing for you.
No.
It's bad for culture, who could have known?
We can have comedy cannibalism, but we can't have actual cannibalism. Okay.
It's not cannibalism if it's from some other arc.
Yes, it is.
Rayma, it is your turn.
So I'm going to move up to the probable corpse. Call Goose off and check his pockets.
Cool. Yeah, you start going through his pockets. You find the sling, the scrap knife. You find roll me a d6, a d6. Roll me a d6.
A d6, okay. Let's have a 3.
A 3. You find 3 bullets.
Nice.
Roll me another d6.
Another d6. We will have.
I don't think you get to reclaim bullets like
A
you
1.
can arrows, Fish.
You find 1 piece of crop.
Hey.
So 1 piece
And
of.
one-
I shot him.
What was that?
Food.
1 piece of.
Food.
Right.
Roll me.
I
roll
shot
me
him, which expended a bullet. Therefore, one of those bullets is definitely mine before we decide what to do with the others. That's the law of the zone. That's the way it works.
No, you don't get to make things up. You're not there. We don't have to tell you we found shit.
You know, that's why I didn't do the voice.
Roll 2 d6 tonight.
2d6.
Yes.
A 3 and a 1.
A 3 and a 1. You find 4 pieces for food, water. 4 pieces of water. Does that make sense? You start grabbing through his pockets, and you also find a little piece of plastic card.
Does it have a yellow strip across it?
The MacGuffin.
And on it, it says Eden in big. It actually says. I'm going to get up later. You also notice the fact that he's breathing and appears to be alive.
That's vaguely astounding.
So well.
Are we still in combat while this is
Still
happening?
in combat. That's what Raymer is using his round for. Cool. He's not an issue anymore. It is Mr. Moon.
I'm gonna run up there while he's digging around for the pockets and finding the things. And the guy's not conscious.
Correct.
I'm gonna make a heal check to make him conscious because I want to hear why he stole the card and what it was meant for.
Cool.
You and I, Shard, we haven't seen the others coming down yet. have
Nope.
No, and I
we
haven't
haven't.
had a chance to warn you guys yet.
You have, however, heard a second shot rang out and it hasn't hit anywhere near you
Yes.
guys. But roll a heal.
Somebody shot at something else.
we? Yeah.
Heal. Yep. I like my inspire and my heal and my sense of motion because I get 7 dice.
Nice.
It's good.
That's a 3 for heal.
Yes.
It was
and
almost 5.
So what I'm assuming what you're trying to do is you're basically trying to give like first aid and stabilizing the critical thing.
Yeah, give him enough aid to stabilize and wake them up so I can talk to them, but also be able to cause him pain if I need to.
Definitely. You managed to get him conscious again. He is incredibly groggy. And you also, in your healing of the critical, realize that he is paralyzed from the waist down.
Holy shit, you broke his spine!
Which is an incredibly fun thing to roll for a mutant. His one
Damn.
mutation is the fact that he's good at running.
Yeah.
Oh!
That's awkward.
Oh shit!
Oh, that is brilliant.
Well done, Fish.
Oh, that is such a perfect boy moment. I immediately start writing this down. Maybe
You Professor savored this podcast.
Aimed for and got.
Yes.
That's
So
one of
what-
those
Grandma
relief
can be a
moments.
hero.
You'd be able
That's
to
one
have
of those
been
sniper
the...
relief moments where you see it all in slow motion. The X-ray as the bullet goes through, shattering the
Yep,
spine
yeah,
on the way.
definitely this is a Sniper Elite game now.
A broken spine.
And hello, Chrono.
Hello, Chrono.
Welcome to Sniper Elite Year Zero.
Yes.
Yeah, we are, aren't we? Yes.
Oh, we
Alright.
are.
God, we're having a time. Yeah. Okay. Cool. You're doing that. It's things you kind of know happening, but are kind of don't know happening are happening. So, God, I was going to run away with him, but you just shot him for the spine.
He ain't running nowhere.
No.
He's never running again. Oh God.
Critical damage in Year Zero games is harsh. It really is.
Gosh. Alright. Swan.
Yo.
The group of 4 that you saw, you see two people leave, and they seem to be darting from building to building, basically.
Okay.
And they are running, and they're moving from. So now they're trying. It's fairly obvious that they're trying to reach. The not corpse, the body on the ground, and the two mutants and the dog standing over it. And they are now within. What would that be? They're going to take cover. They're going to use one of their maneuvers to move one step further, so that's short. So they're now within short distance. And they're going to use one of them to take cover, because one of them just got shot in the head. Not the head, they got shot. Yes. So you see two people.
Does
rushing,
leave one unattended. Can I see the third?
It's not your turn.
Then don't come to me. Then don't start a sentence with Swan. You can see.
Because I'm telling you information that you need during another
That's
person's
fair.
turn. Would you like me to not tell you things, Drax? Is that how you like to run this?
Yeah,
Okay,
you
I
feel
have
free to
power.
sass. You feel free to sass. Just bear in mind
Yeah.
who's GMing Witcher.
I think the sass is well deserved. Oh, that's a face to freeze on.
Is it just...
Oh dear.
I gotta. Nah, damn! I didn't take a picture of it. Damn.
And I'm back again.
Yes.
You are, yes.
So, what I was saying, Matt, is that I don't need you to try to attempt to kill me. Because my dad is already doing that for.
I got nothing. Of all, you
Yeah,
are breaking up. Let's just move on to
Breaking up,
whoever's
they get
turn it
horrible,
is. Let's keep going. Excess
No.
sass has broken his connection.
Yeah, there was too much sass. You sassed the system into breaking.
Sass the internet.
He did.
Is sassing the internet like staring into the void?
A lot, yes. When you sass the internet, be careful for the internet will sass you.
It's
Okay,
it's
so-
breaking. Why is it breaking?
You're actually back now.
Welcome back.
I even closed all of my tabs. What is it doing?
Maybe someone else is using the internet at the same time?
I'm
No,
reasonably certain at any given time that
it's-
someone else is using the internet at the
It's
same time.
gone.
Stop using taps. Everyone is South London.
Are
Stop
they maybe
using
downloading
taps.
something on their computer?
Are
My
we?
flatmate has disappeared.
I'll be reaching a pause point because we are coming
Yeah,
up on
are
10.
we at
Oh,
a
he's
point
gone.
where maybe we could?
Oh man, poor Felix.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, it's not a bad stopping point, just simply because in the middle of tense action, where you
Yeah.
have two characters that think the action is over.
The other two that no, it isn't.
Always best to stop at the end of a round, but on the other hand, I think
Yeah.
we could keep the end of the round because I don't think anybody's got anything to do
Until the start of next round, anyway.
until they know about other people.
And that's me, the only about the only one who knows about it anyway.
Yeah, we've heard the gunshot, so we know there's something amiss.
Yeah, I was going to
Yes.
look for who Swan was shooting at, but that was next round because
Yeah.
I've initiative.
Honestly, after the gunshot, I'm planning on having
back.
Raymer and I find a building that we can get into
And hide.
and drag him with
Yeah.
us. So,
Oh, you're trying to save him. Oh, wow.
no, not save him. We want to interrogate him.
Oh, okay, fair.
We I didn't bring him back to life so that he could live. He was a thief. He stole something from our
So far, we've shot him through the spine,
Set a dog on it.
set a dog on him, and then resurrected him.
Yeah, I do think, to be honest, that setting a dog on him was a bit mean after he'd already been shot through the spine. I mean,
I didn't know.
You didn't know?
I thought he was playing possum.
We didn't know that his spine was shot through until I took a look.
Yep.
I mean, what I didn't want was to go up there and rifle his pockets and have him go, ha ha, surprise, boom,
Yeah.
and shoot me in the
To
face.
be fair, you found out the spine was broken when you saw the spine.
yeah. I just love
Also-
the irony of the fact that I said there's no rule for shooting to disable, is there? And then probably shot him through the spine.
That pretty much covers it.
Also,
God,
he's not going to live long anyway because he's not going to be able to pee or
Unassisted
poop
is
or
not
anything.
possible, certainly.
And we're back on P.
Oh, well, that did come up.
Yeah, so, once again, I still have audio for all of you guys.
Yes.
For the entire time. But, yes, I think this is a good stopping point because we are reaching our mark. We are at the beginning of a round. I've written down where my enemies are. You know where you are. Yeah, that's a word. That's a sentence. Sure. And, yeah, I think this is a good stopping point. And we can pick up from here in, 3 weeks again, I guess.
Yeah, that should be. Hang on.
Yeah, so thank you for running that. I've thoroughly enjoyed playing that this evening. I was a bit wasted after a hard day at work, but the game has kept me awake. It's been a lot of fun.
I make
I'm glad
that
people are doing it.
3rd of May. I make that, by the way, for people's diaries.
Cool.
Duly noted.
Cool.
And for the first time, I'm glad I'm not going to TwitchCon. Because were things different, I'd be in Amsterdam on the 3rd of May.
Oh, good point. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
But yes, this has been incredibly fun. Thank you all for
it
joining
really
me
has.
on this adventure, and we'll see what happens next. Some unexpected twists and turns, especially me rolling the one critical hit that completely obliterated. Well, he would still have been out, but they just destroyed him for the rest of his very short life.
Oh dear.
That's fine.
Now I feel guilty.
Good.
So,
Have feelings.
our next session, is it going to be session 0.5 or is it going to be session 2?
I think it's going to be session 2.
I think it's got to be session 2.
I think it's going to be session 2, and
Yeah.
then we
Just
could possibly
making sure.
do that. We could possibly do that as an in-game thing once you get back to the arc. It's actually setting out more specifically how your how your arc looks like stat.
Yeah.
Because I am indeed kind of feeling about making this a longer thing. It's incredibly fun to run.
It's incredibly fun to play so
It
far.
is. It is.
I'm just glad that you let us get away with our ridiculous mutations in the way that we wanted to do them.
Yeah.
That's the only true way to play this game. It's important to have. I always love the fact that Mutant is so much just comedy in the midst of all the terrible post-op thing going on. And sometimes you just gotta solve the situation by peeing on them. And
Yep.
I mean, it worked. Especially, there was an in-character comment of, well, we knew it wasn't going to work, but we let you do it, and then it started working.
Yeah.
Everyone was just going, yeah, this is funny, we're gonna let it happen.
And if anyone gets stung by a stingray, we know who to turn to.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
Campaign on demand.
I make it that next week we should be on the Clips phase.
Next week, great. I am totally prepared.
Yep.
I've had plenty of time, and I've already explained to you guys that I don't actually prepare things other than what's going on in my head.
Yeah. Okay. I can't believe
Oh,
the
it'll be
games
fun.
we've got going at the moment, which was actually going to be the organised one.
My notes for this session is 7 pages long.
7
That's
pages!
That is impressive.
I don't have campaign notes that go that
3
long.
years of campaigning for that. So
In my defense, there are some of them which are just system things, like what I called some of the roles in character creation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the scenarios. 7 pages long.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to write things down, otherwise they don't exist.
See, the only thing that I had to write out for what exists is the numbers that I asked my players to roll for me, so I know exactly where they are in a certain roll that's going to get made a couple of times.
But yeah, I hope you've had fun. I've had very fun.
Thank you very much for running that, Felix. That was cool.
Like, it's honestly my joy. I love this system so much. Yeah, hopefully I'll give you more Swedish things to explore and find in the future.
Cool.
You know what they are. Really liked the theory of an aircraft, some sort of aircraft. That was kind of very funny.
It took me a while to work out what that was.
Yeah. When the chairs on the roof were described, I was having
It was upside down, yeah.
Yeah.
It was only when you started mentioning the windows, I thought, wait a minute, windows, chairs, upside. Oh, that's what it is.
Yes. I just treasure the image of me dangling arse out of a window while desperately reaching in to try and snag the suit carrier.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad that it was upside down, simply because if it was right side up and we had to deal with that situation, all those freaking chairs would be in our way and there would be no way around them.
Yep. And that's why all the wheels were on the top of the thing.
Yeah. Having tried to access a plane body in a hurry, it's not fun. It's not fun at all.
Yeah.
Okay. So, thank you very much, Felix. That was a hell of a